Hey, Grigorol, and welcome to the Tavern of Theories, our second episode. And today we're talking about Grigorol's Downfall, the first episode. I'm totally confused because I see myself triple. Anyway, I'm not alone today, but we're missing one person. Patch couldn't make it today. There's a... anyway, all the love to Patch, and now I'm switching over to our guest. Hi! Sasha is here with me. Oh, this direction, I guess. It is so confusing. Anyway, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Sasha. You can find me on social at The Weird Lobster, almost everywhere except on TikTok. Over there, I'm The Rambling Lobster because I love having usernames. It's fun. And yeah, I'm here to nerd out today, and I'm really excited.
So we've both seen the episode pretty quickly, I would say, like Friday, I guess. I don't know. Did you watch it at night?
I watched the first half live, and I was gonna try really hard to keep watching, but I got so tired and I was falling asleep, so I went to sleep. And then the next morning at work, I was watching the second half because I was just so excited to finish it, because it was the first half, dare I say, was freaking good.
What about the second half?
It was also freaking good, but like the first half got me so like we were freaking out in DMs over it, and it was great.
For us, because we were in a group with 3 people, so Sasha, Patch, and me, and we were like, have you seen it? No, only till then. Don't spoil it. And then I'm like, I need to talk about... Watch quicker. So I was behind at the beginning, and then I was in front of both of them, and I'm like, I need to talk about this. So it was really hard. So I put spoiler tags and stuff on top. We did actually guess a couple of things. Other things we didn't, and they will never happen on the bingo sheet, by the way. So how do you normally do that? Would you exchange a couple of fields, or what would you do?
I should probably start doing that, but no, traditionally what I do, because it's very rare that I put stuff that are just, if it happened, because most of the time I try to put stuff on the bingo sheet that could happen eventually. Mm-hmm. This time I took a gamble, I took a risk, and we put 2 things on there that were character-based. The
Artificer's not gonna happen.
Artificer's not gonna happen, and the other one was College Tragedy Bard. Also not gonna happen, but since they're the only 2, like when I set up my bingo, I know that these squares are gonna be 50% hit or miss, and like if it doesn't happen, there's no chance of it happening. So yeah, we can see the bingo here on this side of the screen. What I try to do is I try to place them in squares where they're not gonna impact too much. Like I don't put them in diagonals. I don't put them, like I try to put them in, because there's certain squares on a bingo card that are less valuable, if you will, because they're intersecting with less lines. So I usually just try to place them in less valuable spots. So I'm not gonna swap them out, but I should probably start doing this because we don't have a good track record of finishing bingo cards in my Discord.
To be fair, I think we said someone is gonna be an automaton or automaton of sorts, which is not on there. So maybe we could be switching the artificer. Maybe we just misspelled. You know what I mean?
Honestly, we could do that, because I think I miscounted when we were recording last week.
Oh, okay.
Because I did end up with 26.
Gotcha.
25 instead of 24. And I was like, okay, which one do we go for now?
Joker.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure we were sure it's gonna be someone's gonna be an automaton in that case.
Automaton, yeah. I think what I ended up, like the reason I ended up not going for it was because I was scared that they weren't going to be from Aeor, which was right.
Yeah, makes sense.
I ended up being right about that.
Yeah.
But I was scared that if I put Aeormathon on there, like if it was gods or if they were anything other, it wouldn't make sense, and the Aeormathon was good. So I had more faith in Artificer, weirdly, than Aeormathon.
Me too. Yes. Well, I had faith in both. Because I was pretty sure someone's fucking around with machines. So that's all I knew, but oh well.
I agree.
So the question is, should we start with the beginning, like the light? Or should we jump? Yep. Or should we talk about the characters?
Do a smart little segment on the lights.
Okay.
Since it was the beginning and how we got...
You know of everything.
Yes.
Well, I'll hand it over to you.
Honestly, watching that beginning scene with the lights, I don't know about you, but at first I was so fucking confused.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
I was like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, what is this?
I was like, you're scaring people away right now, because people who don't know like Critical Role will be like, what the fuck?
Even I, who know everything about Critical Role,
same.
I had no idea what I was looking at, and I was like, are they just gonna play like shapeless lights for the whole thing? Like,
I was so worried. I was like, I can't watch like 3 episodes of lights. Sorry. It doesn't work.
I was like, they also seem to have like unlimited power and just be able to do anything, and I was like, okay, they're clearly gods right now, but like, maybe this is a little bit too overpowered for a 3-episode arc, because like, what is going on here?
Exactly. And it's like, do they just end up on Aeor? What is happening? How is the connection going? And then in between I had Luxon, and I'm like, wait, what? Did you just say Luxon? So I'm like, completely, whoa.
There was a lot about that little scene that I had to, like, at first I didn't understand, but going back to it and rewatching, knowing what was going on now makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
So, they were playing little lights, little spirits, little like divine sparkles, and they were just chilling in Tangar, which was, I guess, is like their home plane.
Is it a plane? Because they talked about hallways in between and a garden, and sometimes I had a feeling they're on a ship. So I'm like, what is happening?
I don't know if it was actually a plane, but it was like a parallel world, or like the world from which the gods came from and then crashed into, like, when they left that plane at the end of the scene, they crashed into effectively the material plane and created life, right? Like they established themselves on the material plane.
Yes.
So yeah, I'm not quite sure. I'm thinking it's like another world, just separate with its own planes and its own rules of existence that is just beyond our mortal comprehension. Because it's God stuff, it just makes sense.
As long as the GMs understand what they are doing,
yes,
it's fine.
But there was one thing that I thought, looking back, now that you've mentioned the Luxon, I'm very glad that you've mentioned it, because the one thing that tingled my brain a little bit was, because they were in like a garden, right? That was called the Orchard of Possibilities.
Yep.
And I don't know about you, but when I heard possibilities, I was like... beacon.
Lunamancy?
Beacons? Hello? So, yeah, there's definitely a connection to the Luxon there. I'm not sure exactly what.
But didn't one person say I'm the Luxon, or Luxon? Did I mishear that? Did I mishear that? Also, just quickly for the chat, yes, the beeping or overlaying of the names, I hated that too, but that's just our neurospicy brains, I think. They're just things that trigger me, and that's something that triggered me too, so...
I mean, same, just the noise of it was like, what's going on? But what I will say is that with this, because like at first I was like, oh, it's fun, right? Like it's the names of the gods. It makes sense they're censoring it. But then I turned on subtitles and the names were just there, uncensored. And I was like, well, okay, well, what's the point of...
I don't know.
What's the point of triggering me with noises
I-
that my brain doesn't like.
That's the same thing because I checked Wiki and they were perfectly spelled. I'm like, how do you know the spelling of whoa?
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Yeah, that's how I was able to write them down is by looking at the subtitles.
Yeah.
I loved the idea of it.
Same.
It just autism ADHD did not like that. It was just like, but I really love that they like what they did with the editing of it and like
Yes.
trying to censor it and just like see
Yeah, the idea was great.
yeah. And I enjoyed that. But the names that we do have, Ashley played Luz, Luz,
Yeah,
which
and
is
they got
probably why you
swallowed?
heard Lux or Luxin.
No. There was another person. It wasn't her. There was another thing that called itself Luxin, introduced themselves. I don't know. I have to rewatch it. There was something
I
that
did
said
not write it down.
Luxin, and that's why I asked you guys, did I really hear Luxin just now?
But I heard a lot of people talking, like there was a lot of discussion about the Luxins around that scene, but I couldn't figure out why people were talking about it. So maybe I just didn't hear it.
My main thing is, if the whole thing was just like, one big divine thing, okay, and there are lights spinning, everybody had a little bit whatever, and then a couple got swallowed. Those two that didn't make it, like Ashley and someone, I don't know. It doesn't matter. And or you probably wrote it down.
I wrote the names, but I don't know which one died. I wrote just like all the names that were mentioned without saying what they were.
They said it at the end in the cooldown. They basically said you two played double roles this time. And I think it was Ashley and someone else. I don't know. It doesn't matter. We can rewatch it.
It was...
Does anyone in the chat
Noshir.
remember that? I think.
It was Noshir because he played Edom, which I believe was the incarnation of the god that he's actually not playing, because his character is not an incarnation of a god. He's like just a messenger of a god. So that's why he's playing two characters.
Yeah, because the god didn't want to come, or the goddess.
The other one is Laura. The other one is Laura because she was
Raven.
She's now playing the Raven Queen, which did not exist back then. It was the other one.
So I'm not too deep into Luxin and Beacon theory, which I should because I fucking love Essek, but Essek doesn't love that religious part either. So, but when they hit it, the Luxin, was it the Luxin itself that got divided and the the beacons itself spread over like Exandria and stuff?
Yeah, so in Luxon lore, according to the Kryn dynasty, basically the Luxon was a god, or is still a god, or it's not really clear, but basically pieces of the Luxon, like he shattered and became the beacons on Exandria, like they're just scattered all around. So I assume, my personal theory is that that's when it happened. In that scene when they crashed into Exandria, probably because Ashley was protecting one of the spirits that kind of sacrificed themselves to tear through like Exandria and like crash into it. I think that was the Luxon.
I think so.
But
that's
if
why
it was mentioned, like if you say it was mentioned by another name, like if the Luxon was mentioned by name during that scene, that might not be, but like, it could have happened in the same time. Like many people probably died in that crash. RIP. But yeah. The names that were mentioned were like, so Ashley played Luz, who was, I was going to say the Everlight, but yes, the Everlight, right?
Yes, Sarenrae. I'm on the wiki so I can look it up.
Thank you. So Ashley
Aru is paler.
Yep. Wait.
And
yes, Aru is player. Yeah. Abubakar played Koru, which is
oh my
the
god,
Archar.
Imri is Asmodeus.
Think?
That's what the wiki says.
The wiki sometimes knows more than I do, and I mean, I believe the wiki. Maybe something. Wow.
Okay,
really?
Nahal was probably the god before the Raven Queen, the name that got lost.
Yes, that we know from the cooldown.
Ash is Melora, so Wild Mother. That works out.
Also, shout out to Taliesin for not going too complicated on this, because the light name was Ash. And then his character name is Asha, which
yeah, that's great, to be fair.
Thank you, Taliesin, for that. That's very straightforward. My notes are much more clean. And yes, as someone in chat says, I could not help but think, wow, he really named another character Ash, because we obviously have Ashton in
great.
Champion 3, but
okay, so wait. Maybe Lux sounded like Luxon, but I literally was like, did I really hear Luxon just now? I was so confused. I really need to look it up. So anyway, there's no mention of Luxon in there. Let me see. Lux is burnt into pure light. The ship makes it way through chaos. Wait, they escape on the ship, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so there we go. Blah blah blah. Why is the wiki trying to close pages? Anyway,
I'm trying to get to my bookmark, but I'm not on my usual computer, so I don't have my bookmarks. I'm like, where are they?
Anyway, so that was that part. And then they crashed. That's pretty much the prologue.
Yep.
Let's see what the chest. He has just 3 letters and goes with them. Yeah, there are also so all the lights have basically Arulas. Imri is the longest in Nahal. The rest is very short. It's like 3 letters or 4, max 5. It's very short names, which is cool.
Well, a lot of the ones mentioned by Brennan by name are longer than that. There's like Shoshti. There's like Yana, I think it's pronounced. I don't know if it's an L or an I, but yeah, they have like short little cute names and
fits the twinkly lights they are or were. I guess. So do you have anything else for that part? Else we could go further?
Yeah, no, for that part it was mostly to think about the orchard of possibilities. That was like the main thing that I had taken notes of, because like Luxon, holy shit.
Luxon, yeah, same. I was like, ooh, what did I just hear? I'm like, yay. So that gave me hope for the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, this is gonna end eventually. It's good. It's fine. We'll make it. I think we actually talked, now we can basically move over. It's kind of a nice segue, because we actually talked about like divine figures were mentioned in like the pre-interviews and stuff. So we were speculating, will they be gods? Will they be whatever? So the gods part kind of turned out to be true. However, when they started, and they showed the first character art, I'm like, I'm so confused. Why do they look so medieval basic? We are in a fucking skyship. It's like, how is that connection happening? I was so
the first character
confused.
They showed was Nick's character.
No, Trist.
Oh, it was Trist. Yeah,
Ashley,
right.
yes.
It was Trist, Ashley. And I was like,
could you
that's
show us Trist?
That's just a little guy. That's just a person. That's just.
Yeah.
There she is. I was like, oh. And I was like, okay, I guess she's not a god, and I guess she's not a champion either.
She's
maybe?
a mom.
she's just mother. She's just mother.
And it's like, haven't we learned from Calamity before having kids?
Yeah, that's totally something that I said in my Discord, because in my Discord we have a live chat.
Here.
Where
we miss her in the crowd. That's true.
Yeah, exactly. But like that's one thing that I pointed out in my chat was like, Trist is totally gonna be our Seret this time around, because we're gonna cry over her kids. In a couple of episodes.
Well, they took care of that. luckily they took care of that.
I mean, yes, but did they really?
Well,
'Cause,
they
like-
said he said he would bring them to safety.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's the last we see of our kids, and that's sad to say because I thought it was so cute that Ashley was playing like such a
mom.
motherly,
Yeah.
cute mother, such a sweet lady, and I was like, oh my god, this is
Oh, yeah.
everything. I love this. I absolutely love this.
Wait.
But then next they showed Aiden.
No,
which,
let's go back really quickly on Ashley because I need to rant because this makes me mad about art. Also, shout out to the artist. The art is freaking amazing. I think two artists worked on that, like the character art and the cards itself. And if you guys have looked at the bottom, there's binary code, which we'll tell you later which is what, which makes sense because it's connected to the god, but we'll have a list later. So what made me mad is that stupid, shoulder piece, artistically perfect, but it makes no sense. It goes under the coat. It has to come out the coat in the back, so you need to cut a hole in there. It makes me so mad. It makes me so mad. As a cosplayer, I'm screaming.
As a cosplayer, yep. The construction, I was like, no, but how? But the only solution I could come up with is that
you have to cut a hole.
It's just half the coat. Or there's a hole for the shoulder pads somehow.
And I was like, what I did, this is the same thing I have a Merida one from Hannah Alexander, and I had to cut a hole in the cape in the back, otherwise the shoulder piece wouldn't go through. So... Yep. I know, I mean, they also think of cosplayers, but in this case, they didn't. Also, that strap, it feels like an arm sling happening underneath. I don't know. So it confused me because this was basically, I almost can cosplay that with everything I have at home. So, that's something we need to talk about. Which character? But let's look at the characters first. Which one do we want to go next for?
I was gonna go in order they were introduced because that's how I wrote them down in my notebook. But to continue on the point of like they're just little guys and like they're definitely not gods or definitely not champions. They introduced Aiden next, which is Nick's character, which is a 16-year-old boy or 15. I was like, what are they doing? Do not put a child in this. Oh my fucking god! And I was like, there's no way he's a champion. There's no fucking way.
You know,
no way.
I was like, when it continued, I'm like, it kind of is hilarious having a boy and being the Dawn father or whatever, father and child, you know, that it's kind of hilarious. But what was so confusing, I think he had the all hammer. Is it all hammer? The symbol of the all hammer? God.
I think it is. I don't know my symbols yet by heart. But...
He was wearing a necklace, and I looked at it. I'm like, that is not the god you're playing. Why are you wearing this? Stop it. It makes me really confused now. So, Also, crazy multi-class.
I was going to say that. Like, when they showed his character sheet, I was like, what the fuck do you mean he has 4 multi-class?
Mm-hmm.
And okay, we'll go over that later once we've talked about each character, but I've been trying to figure out their character sheet, and that makes my life a living hell.
I know, right?
Nick, with all the love in the world, you are making my life a living hell.
They basically went for, that's the second human. Triss was human too, right?
Yep. Yeah. Most of them are human or elvish.
Yeah, that's true. Also, how do you end up barbarian? Okay, maybe I can get that. But cleric, druid, and paladin. So maybe barbarian, druid, if you grow up in the wilderness, okay. But cleric and paladin? It's like one of each, you know? It's like
Trist was the same one as well. Cleric and paladin. Honestly, I can sort of understand on a storytelling baseline why a person would get multi-class in cleric and paladin.
If you lose your faith and you go to a different religion?
No, but keeping your faith, just becoming more of a defender and more of like taking an oath, you would get some levels of paladin if you take an oath to your god or something. But also
wouldn't you feel like that as a cleric already?
Yeah, that's sort of still cleric. But also thematically, since they're like both the religious class, I sort of understand.
Yeah, so in the chat, also we don't have an idea of their level. That's what Sasha actually tries
We'll go
to
over
figure
that
out.
later. I have a whole segment on this, and I've prepared
it's
something for
gonna
you
nerd
guys.
out.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be amazing.
It's gonna
My
be the
thing is
massive
like,
nerd out of this
they're
of the
fucking
night.
gods. They are level 20. I don't care. They need to be level 20, period. So
We'll go over that. We'll go over that.
Yeah. What
but
else
yeah,
was in the chat? I really liked how he's portraying him. I think, wait, the grumpy part? Is that for Nick? Was that for Aiden? Yeah, and the kids, will talk about that after looking at everybody. Character names. Who was next? I think it was Taliesin's character, I guess.
no, next was Laura.
Yeah, okay, let's go with Laura.
Laura, who...
Did you see her hair was the same as here, and clothing was green? I mean,
I
looked amazing
love
as
when
always.
they do that. They did that a lot in Calamity, like dressing inspired by the character, and it's just so good.
Yes.
But yes, Laura, who came with excited me as soon as she was introduced with I don't know how to pronounce that. It's
Mira?
English pronunciation that my brain cannot comprehend. Emihira?
I would
Amira?
just go mid Amira for now.
Amira? Okay,
Yeah.
great. We'll go with that.
But Amira
Amira.
or something would be weird for my brain.
Which Warlock. So when I saw that, I was like, ooh,
I just say
interesting,
that.
fun. I like
I
that. I
just
can
say
get
that.
behind that.
The thing
but
is
then
why
she
I said it
talked
last time,
about-
because she wanted to play Chester as Warlock, and she never got the chance to play Warlock. So
Yeah, you were right about that. Yep. You were right. I was wrong. I'll do the little I was wrong dance.
it's all good. No. It's fine, because I'm like, it might as well be wizards if they're all wizards. It's okay.
But
It's okay.
honestly, thematically, it sort of makes more sense if they're gods to play like, warlock, cleric, paladin classes, and not like a wizard. But
Yeah.
we'll get to the wizard part because
Wait, if she's
I haven't.
who's her god? Is she herself her god because she ascended?
Ooh. Well, she's playing the Raven Queen, right? But that's something that I wanted to talk to you about.
Warlock?
Maybe we can talk about it now because we're on the subject. But
Yeah.
So their bodies, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right now they're playing mortal incarnations of the gods. Do you think that they're playing as like they possessed a living person,
That
took
is
over?
But they
Or
would
do you
need to
think they
modify
created, like-
memory.
Yeah.
They would need to modify memory or start a complete new life of someone, Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that was my question. Like, do you think they're just possessing someone, or do you think they created this new human being and did a bunch of modified memories to have a life established?
Okay, here's the thing. If they started off like being born and whatever, that would take a long time. Plus, they would need to connect somehow. Plus, then I'm standing by the thing. If you actually have kids, they're demigods. But that's not gonna happen here.
Yep.
So, I don't know. Is it like if you clone someone, no, that would be a child too. So I don't know. I can't tell you. I have no idea. I mean, it feels like they possess someone. But then again, that didn't happen like a year before the calamity or 30 years, before Aeor's fall. I don't know, they crashed way before. So,
So I have a theory on that. I personally think it's some sort of weird possession, like you said, of like, but I don't know if it's like a weird possession or like they created a body and then, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know, but basically what I think happened based on the cooldown, because they made a lot of jokes about Trist, aka Ashley, going above and beyond being immortal and having children and getting married.
Giving birth, literally,
Giving
to the
birth
idea.
is what they said, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think what the gods did is that they just like threw in like a piece of themselves a couple of years ago, like several years ago, let them establish their life, create like a real persona so they could infiltrate better. Because if you just create a person, there's someone somewhere who's gonna be like, wait, where were you 2 years ago? And then you're like, I don't fucking know. So I think it's some sort of weird possession, and that has been going on for several years.
What we have here, that Luxon-wise, the soul comes back, the memories come back, but that also would, with a Luxon, that would be reborn as a child, right? You don't. Yeah. So
I don't think they grew up at all. Like, I don't think they went, but because Trist is what, 35, 45, something?
Yeah, and mid-end 30s,
So that would mean that like 40 years ago or something, they planned this. She's 39, thank you. Yeah. And that would mean that like almost 40 years ago, like the gods planned to put people on Earth and
I feel
possess
like,
them.
I mean, no, wait, we are total idiots. Okay, the gods were fighting, right?
Yeah.
They weren't fighting in their mortal form. They just heard like, oh shit, Aeor is doing something. We need to interrupt possession. They weren't planning that for 40 years.
No, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense to have like created people 40 years ago. That's why I think they possessed maybe a couple of years ago. Because I think Trist's children are like 7, 8 maybe.
Something like that. They're
fairly young.
Yeah. So we just
it would make sense that like 7 years ago they decided, okay, we need maybe just in case, and then they started hearing about Aeor and they were like, okay, yeah, we'll do this, but plan, because 7 years in God's time is nothing.
No.
So for them, it could have just very well been like, oh yeah, well, let's just plan time this travel. Well, and then. Also could be time travel, you're right.
I mean, they could have just manifested the bodies and the stories around. I mean, Triss and Aiden have a connection. We just saw the cards, and someone in the chat said that Aiden actually got a class from Triss, which makes sense. So it's probably either the paladin or the cleric, because Triss has both. If you could see Nick, so Aiden again for a second, because then we can talk about a little thing which I wasn't paying attention. That's the, it almost looks like as if someone just carved something, like, hey, I killed like 5 people or something in there. Yes. So I wasn't really paying attention. But someone...
Little scratches on his shield.
Scratches. And someone on TikTok made a video. I can't remember their name right now, but I could look it up. It's in the tweet too that we'll show in a second. And they basically were like, I thought about this like a language, and they looked it up, and it indeed is a language. And then they asked on Twitter, and they actually got the reply. So here it is, and it actually spells Aiden. I'm not sure why it's not spelled with a Y, probably because the letter doesn't exist in that language.
I think it's just a matter of like that letter doesn't exist in that alphabet. I don't know that alphabet, so I could be wrong, but that's what I assumed. Or maybe when they did the art, he was spelling it this way, and then later on was like, oh, that's not cool enough, let's spell it differently. So, but the art was already like done by the time he changed the spelling. But it's fun, little Easter eggs like that.
Yeah, Nick confirmed it, and the artist actually retweeted it, so it's confirmed. It's literally, it just says Aiden, which is perfect, so it's pretty cool.
Cute little Easter eggs, we love that.
Yes. So what else is in the chat? I'm just looking through, sorry. Yeah, time is a weird soup, absolutely. So, I mean, yeah, they could have just created bodies and manifested it, or taken something over, or we don't know. Maybe we'll never know, but I hope they're doing a wrap up and maybe ask Beacon Chat, and maybe someone is asking it, so that would be cool.
So we have Terry Elvin, in the chat, who says, they said the gods had been quiet for decades, which from my view said they put their souls in babies, grew up, and like with Luxon born, the memories and powers came back when they were older. That, I mean, it could be. I interpreted that line when they said that the gods had been quiet for a long time, just because like seeing as if the gods had been fighting with the betrayers for so long, so they didn't care about their cleric and their
Soul anchors.
mortals.
Have you seen the Four-Sided Dive, where they basically asked Marisha? No, it wasn't Four-Sided Dive. It was the show on the weekend in SuperCon in Florida.
I did not see the panel, no.
Basically, what they asked is if Delilah was already anchored in Laudna. And they said there was already something in there, and when she finally died, it swapped over completely. So that could be the same here. Like I said, memories already there or installed when they're like fully hatched.
Yeah. Something like that, yeah. But I don't think, like, from my point of view, the line about the gods being quiet was just because the gods were busy fighting other gods and didn't really, like, pay attention to mortals because they had better things to deal with. So the gods had been quiet for that reason, is how I interpreted it. But it could definitely be because they were, you know, growing up and being babies.
True.
Yeah,
but that would be weird because then the betrayers would take over when there are like 5 people taken out. You know,
that's a worry for sure. But also considering the betrayers have done the same, we'll go over that in a moment.
True.
Because we have some betrayers. But like, why would the betrayers and the gods just be like, hey, yo, let's stop fighting for like a long time. Grow up as babies and then let's go take down the city, you know?
It's like, let's take it to a different warfield. Let's be humans. You know?
Let's be mortal and actually die this time.
I think we can go on to the next one, which is probably Asha, right?
Yes, it is Asha. Yes, so that one, we were right. We We predicted Monk for Taliesin, and we were right, and I'm so fucking excited about this.
Yes.
Because I love monks, okay? I'll say I love playing monks. I love watching monks. Monks is a very fun class because you just get to be fast and punch things and just do a backflip and kick something in the face and then leave, which is very fun to play.
I mean, they left it in the Four-Sided Dive. They could have cut it out, you know. But Taliesin spoiled it kind of. Even then, Monk made so much sense because he likes that multi-attack stuff and extra key points and whatever. So.
And now that we've seen both Asha and Amira, we could kind of talk about something that has been driving me insane. So Asha is a wolf who has a elven wild shape because she is the wild mother. She is Melora. And as you can see in her art right now, like she's like Taliesin is playing her very like angry and very
force of nature.
Very
nature
vengeful and like holds a grudge kind of thing, which is a very interesting depiction of nature, and her art reflects that because she's like got this like dark branch with like spikes, and she's like almost emo in a way because she's like dark and broody and mad, and she's got that anger, which is a very interesting depiction of nature, and I fucking love it. And then if you look at Amira, if we can switch back to Amira real quick, Amira, who is meant to be the Raven Queen, the goddess of death, is so sweet, so kind,
serene almost.
Has like such nice features, so peaceful in a way, and it's always something that I've absolutely loved about the Raven Queen and the depiction of the Raven Queen in Critical Role specifically, was how like death is depicted as like everybody thinks it's scary, but when you really get to know the Raven Queen and you interact with her, you see that like she has like, even like in the animated show, she has like such a kind voice and a peaceful and like saying that like, yeah, death is inevitable. I'm just a shepherd helping the souls forward. And Amira reflects that, and she's gorgeous. She's so sweet. She has like those green, like very like flowy, sweet, just gorgeous. And I just
Yes.
love the absolute, like, it's the opposite of what you would expect a goddess of death and a goddess of nature. Like they've basically swept aesthetics and and I love that so much.
To be fair, imagine, because Aeor is so advanced and it's basically off nature, right? It's basically suppressing all nature. They literally have to get everything delivered from the ground, which we see when they actually fill up like the call it spaceship. It's not a spaceship, it's a flying whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they are like, they specific, okay, what I try to re-listen to it, and I basically get to the point when they enter the ship to get to Aeor, and they put specific emphasis on, hey, here are very colorful fruits, here are very blah blah blah. That doesn't seem to be there often. Also, they mention like they don't have houses, they have tents because everybody's fighting, constantly war, so there's no point in actually building something. But on the other hand, tents have been standing there for like 10 years, which is also like, there's like a contrast. There must be peace in between for sure. So it's yeah, I'm not sure how the world on the ground is, but also like how does Aeor have the power over the ground that they can request like, you know, all the shit from this shit, yeah, all the goods and stuff from the ground, you know?
Yeah, it's really, it's interesting to see the power dynamics here, because yeah, like you said, like I assume what happened was like, because we already knew that the Sky Cities were powerful and had a lot of influence over the world.
Yeah.
And considering that Aeor is now the last one standing, I assume they kind of like sucked in all that power and were like, oh, Avalir's fallen? Let me take over. Let me like, you know, steal the power away from like the power they had away from them. And so now they're kind of just like this ruling entity over the continent, possibly the world, but they're just like this authoritarian like powerhouse and like not obstructive but oppressing force over the entirety of Exandria or the continent or whatever it is. I think it's very interesting.
We'll see. I'm curious. I don't think we will see much more of the world down there. So, and yes, we can go back to that part. We hope Provençal actually brought the kids to safety. We'll never know. Potentially not. We'll just hope. Also,
there's only 2 episodes left, you know, so like I don't think we have that much time to cover the kids.
No, it feels like so short. I'm like, okay, next week we'll talk about 2 and then it's airing and then we just talk one more time. What? It goes so quickly. So my brain is just like, whoa. Okay. Wait. Okay, so we were wondering when we got the hint that Laura is the Raven Queen. Already we figured the rest needs to be gods of sorts. And and for me it clicked like they need to be on the good side, like the deity side, that is not betrayer god, good is relative, whatever. Then when they went to Aeor, I was like, okay, there was a thing that they had like peace with the betrayer gods for a while to bring down Aeor. That's probably why they meet the betrayer gods there, which happened then. So, and then I was like, okay, so Taliesin, because first I was like, wolf, that could be like the companion from Provençal. Okay, that's a wolf, right? But that wouldn't fit if everybody is a god, so it must be the Wild Mother, but it doesn't feel like the Wild Mother. But I was like, it would be cool because Taliesin, Wild Mother from Caduceus, Raven Queen, Vex, makes sense to Laura. Yeah. And it just kept going like that. And then it was like Everlight, obviously Sarenrae to Pike. Yeah. So it just made sense. Everybody has a connection to their god. I mean, we could have seen it coming, but it would have been so easy, right? So
and that's one thing that like when they introduced Amira, they described that she had a raven companion, and I was like, she's a warlock with a raven companion. I think like within the first minute of her being introduced with her raven, I was like, what if guys what if she's like a paladin of not a paladin, a warlock of the Raven Queen? She's like a celestial warlock, and it's gonna be so cool. And then no, she's just a Raven Queen.
She's just fine.
She's just a Raven Queen.
She's actually not. She's actually not a warlock. She's just a patron. Whatever.
She's just her. She's just her.
She's just her. She's her own god. It would make sense for Laura. Sorry.
Yeah, but then as they were like, she was introduced like talking to an older gentleman, and that older gentleman was described as wearing a cape of raven feathers, and I was like, Pervan? Is that you? And I was like trying to math it out. I was like, yeah, this is like 100 years later. Pervan was like a half elf, so like it makes sense. He's still alive and he's getting quite old because like, you know. And I was like, oh my god, it could actually be Pervan. And like I was typing in my Discord being like, guys, I think it could be Pervan. They were like, yeah, you're right. I think it could be Pervan. And then they said the word wolf. And I lost my shit. I was like, I was right. It's fucking Pervan and Godric. Holy shit. And I was just freaking out and it was great. Yeah.
No, I had the same but at first I thought Asha is the wolf from him because I ignored that there was another wolf. I heard that in Realist and I'm like, yeah, okay. Anyway, so the Wild Mother was figured out. Okay, who do we have? Oh, now we're moving on to the guests, I think, right?
Yes, two last guests that we have. The next one that was introduced was Abubakar's character, Silaha.
Silla, I don't know. Silla, haha. I don't know.
This is why we needed Patch tonight, because both of us are non-English speakers. So we are
I don't
butchering
think
names.
Oh, no. Okay, can we switch to the tweet real quick? Because it actually means weapon, I think, right?
Yes, that's something that was pointed out really quickly in my Discord. So Silaha, Silaha was
SILAHA
stands for Specialized Intervention of Lethal and Hazardous Actor.
Actors?
And actors, yes. And also happens to mean weapon in Swahili, which is a language that Abubakar, I think he speaks, or at least he comes from that country. So I at first in my Discord when his character sheet was shown, we were trying to figure out what the letters stood for, and that tweet didn't come out until like later after the episode ended. But we were trying to figure out, and someone said, wait, someone told me that this means weapon in Swahili. Could this be? And I was like, oh yeah, this is actually really interesting. And then we were trying to piece, like, going from that weapon clue, we were trying to piece the letters together. I could go and dig some of our theories. Hold on, let me go look in my Discord what we said. It could be, because it was really fun to do.
I don't know much about the deity, by the way, the god. I wouldn't have guessed
who
that
does he play
because
again?
The Archheart?
Yeah.
I can't pronounce it, I'm sorry.
It's one of those gods that haven't really been like.
Is it pronounced Corellian? I haven't.
I could tell you. I could not tell you. But yeah, it's one of those deities in Exandria that we haven't really seen a lot of.
Yeah.
Because we've mostly seen like Dawnfodder.
It's our favorite. It's wandering the land, spreading magic and raising forests. It's like, yes, we like this one.
But yeah, I don't know much about this deity.
It's the mother and father of all elves.
Oh, fun.
There's something about centaurs too. I closed the wiki, sorry. Okay, look up your thing. Sorry, I interrupted. Also interesting, sorcerer and warlock. Warlock to what? Nature? Elves? I don't know.
I mean,
who's the? Are they all? Do they all have patrons that are like themselves? The warlock part makes me so weird, so like confused.
Okay, so I have one of them here. One of my guesses was servant in light and honor of Aeor.
That's cool.
It's a cool one.
You should tweet that to them.
Someone in my Discord said that H could stand for harmony instead of honor. And then Chris from my Discord server said maybe H is for herald, because he kind of came as like a herald announcing like stuff for Aeor, and we were like, oh yeah. So we tried to find some things with that. Yeah.
Because
we tried to find some H letters, and we also had serving intendant of the law and herald of Aeor from that.
There we go. Herald of Aeor is so amazing.
Yeah, it was just a fun thing that we tried to figure out, and then he just said it, and I was like, okay, there goes all my guesses. Huh.
Yeah. I would have never guessed actors at the end, like probably acting and not actors.
Hazardous
like,
was not on my guess list at all.
But the harmony literally is cool because there's a scene in between with the betrayer gods where it's like, okay, let's go just outside and party. You know, it's like, what the fuck? Okay.
Yeah, I am obsessed with Abubakar and Silaha. Silaha, I cannot say that name. Jesus Christ. Yeah. I just love how cocky he's playing him, and like so carefree and cocky and just like, come on, bro. It's great. It's so fun to see, and I love it, and I want more, and I cannot wait. Cannot get over the fact that we only get this character for 3 episodes. Dude. I need so much more of this. This is
maybe
amazing.
He survives. We have some maybe he can, or they, I don't know pronouns. I think he, him, I don't know, they, them.
And pronouns. I've been going with they because I just don't know.
Yeah. And anyway, here, this is the cross for the cosplayers. This is for the bingo, because this is freaking amazing, and it could be done with body paint just for the effect, but the rest. Hello.
I mean, there's something like it's definitely
PC
not the
art,
hardest.
That is a nightmare for cosplayers.
Yeah, that's our square. That's when I crossed it off, I think.
No, it is a sleeper agent. You can cross it off. He's a sleeper agent.
We're not sure yet. He's an Aeormathon, but I don't know if he's a sleeper agent.
He's a fucking sleeper agent. He's a god. He's gonna destroy Aeor.
True. You know
I didn't see it like that.
I like that.
He is a sleeper agent.
That's
what
true.
else is he? Yes, we can make that line.
I need another one. Let's go.
Oh my god.
Huh?
I mean, if not him, who? Or if not them, who? I mean... we were thinking like SCG or whatever showing up. Or...
Yeah, we were thinking about, when we wrote that square, we were thinking about specifically the thing that SCG was and that thing. But you know what? I'm counting that. That's a good shout. Good shout. I like that.
Because I looked at it and I'm like, oh yeah, that's not gonna happen. But it is literally him. So them. Sorry, so cool.
But okay, coming back on the cosplay part. Yes, it's hard to do, but also you could probably get away with like a bodysuit and then like gluing like
mirrors,
Eva foam pieces to make like the indentations and stuff.
The thing here, that's the part which is worrying to me because you see through. But if you put a mirror, it looks like if it's an illusion. You know, you could make it. Yeah. I want to build that.
It's still a hard build, let me tell you, but it's but it's not the hard, surprisingly not the hardest
because it is there aren't like I mean, it is organic and whatever, but it's like big spaces, you know what I mean? Big surfaces. There we go.
But
I know speak
it's
English.
Still
sorry.
Mostly a humanoid shape.
Yes.
And
it's almost like muscle-ish. If you go,
yeah, it's like muscles made out of metal. It's kind of cool, but it's not surprisingly not the hardest PC to cosplay out of this. And we can segue into the last character that was introduced, the emissary.
Oh, that is so basic. If you have built Ashton. Sorry.
But, no, yes, but also like the head is okay, but like the whole rock part here
the rock part is easier than Ashton. Come on. No, it is complicated. Yeah, it is just shapes. I mean, what you could do, just use the expanding foam and then start carving, and then you have a stone.
True.
I mean,
But like
It
both
would
of
be
them
fun.
are. I saw Salaha and I was like, okay, this is hard, but like still doable. And then I saw this and I was like, oh, they just want us to fucking die. They just want us to fucking die. That's great.
It depends how you want to do like the structure. One, I wouldn't want to wear it because it's fucking hot. The floating thing you need to figure out of the floating stones. But this almost feels like, the football like protectors on top, and then you build on top of that.
Yeah, you're right.
It could work. It is work for sure.
Then
If you
the
want-
other thing that worries me, he
Imagine
doesn't
that
have a
everything's
fucking
flowing.
mouth. He doesn't have a nose. He doesn't have a mouth. He doesn't have. He has 2 holes for his
Holes.
eyes.
At least you can see.
Yes, at least you can see. But like, breathe. Fuck you. You're not breathing.
Hey, depends how tall he is. Else you put your face here.
I like that. I think he was described as very tall, right? Like.
Yep. So everything on top of you could be just empty space. It's just like the
True.
figure on top.
True.
And you
I'll
look
make my
through the
face in the middle
stones.
of the rocks.
Yeah, and you see a speaking face. Oh, let's
so
do a
funny.
slit where you can put your hand in and then something bites you. Sorry.
You make a mimic rock, and then if the person, you
Yeah.
just bite them through the.
Do you know? I don't know how it's called in English. In Italy, like the stone where you can put your hand in, and if it bites you, bad luck. It's like a fortune teller thing. Oh God, how is it called? Chat, please help us. And probably is it in Rome? Stone.
Yeah, those 2 characters. When I saw the art, I was like,
Oh, here.
R.I.P. cosplayers. This is gonna be fun.
Oh, Bocca
Like-
della Verita.
I have
Mouth
no idea
of
what that is.
Truth.
Mouth of Truth. I like.
How can I share that with you guys? Wait, I'll put it in the chat, and maybe Yuri can pull a picture real quick, because that would be hilarious. Okay, anyway.
Yeah. The emissary.
Yes.
Such a sweet little boy. He's
Aw.
so cute.
Apples.
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 Dark.
And shh, go back in your box. Shut up.
It was so freaking cute. And I was texting in my Discord. I was like, of course they had to make one of the hardest one to cosplay, the sweetest boy that I immediately want to cosplay.
Mhm.
Like, are you kidding me? He's so cute. I want him in my pocket. Oh, I have seen pictures of that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Now I see,
Yeah.
now I get it.
Okay. So for the emissary,
Yeah. One thing, okay, so we know that the
So-
emissary is not actually a
Arathis?
god, but a
Yeah.
herald of
yeah,
um
Arathis.
name is yes,
I don't know how you pronounce
the
it like
lawbearer.
that. The
The
lawbearer.
lawbearer, right?
Which makes sense. I don't know if you have the same theory, because they would be like the level of both sides, of good and bad, kind of.
Oh yeah.
Because of the symbol, I feel like they wouldn't really engage in, and that's why they stayed away. That's what I'm
That's why
thinking.
they sent an herald, and I think that
Yeah.
makes sense. And speaking of the lawbearer, one thing that I did not catch at the time, and because before we understood who the characters were,
Yeah.
like who their god personas were,
Mhm.
I was like, I had a really hard time trying to figure out who Taliesin was playing for, like, God.
Yes.
I was like, he's so angry at the emissary. He's so mad. He's so upset. What is going on here? But going back, now that we know that the emissary was sent by the lawbearer and that Taliesin is playing the Wild Mother,
Mhm.
it makes all the sense. Because if you guys didn't know, lawbearer and the Wild Mother are girlfriends, they're wives, they're lovers, and like they're lesbian lovers, and like, oh my god. And so when Taliesin or Asha, I should say,
Yeah.
saw that, like, oh,
She didn't
that's
show
not
up.
my wife.
Yeah.
My wife didn't come. She left me here. She was so upset, and I was like, oh, sweet little girl, come here. It's okay. And it was so wanted to see my wife, and all I got was our kid. Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, like, of course, it's sweet, it's cute, and I just love that. I just love that.
You know, I have the wiki open, and when you said like the relationship of them, okay, I'm confused about that message. Anyway, so they have a whole section about Wildmount and where she is worshipped and stuff like that. And then at the end, there's one sentence: "The Mother's Lighthouse by Nicodranis was built from the stone produced by the union of Arathis and Melora."
Aww, that's so cute. I love that.
It is super cute. Also,
Yeah.
I was confused about because they are protecting the emissary. And it's like, why? I wasn't also aware because I'm like, if he's a god or they are a god, it's not a god. So the whole thing about the emissary, it feels like ambassador word-wise to me. It confused the hell out of me. And when they basically said it was, or they were like as a representative of a different god because they didn't show up, whatever. I was like, okay. But then I was like, wait, Earth Genasi, if Aeor is still built out of Earth, that's probably the way you can split off like the section, divide the city, break it up. Maybe that's it. It's the Earth Genasi is the bomb that explodes everything. I don't know.
Fun. Some people in chat are saying the exact same thing as you. I love that. I hadn't thought of it that way. What I was thinking was like mostly like, oh, like Aeor are so like anti-god and anti like they're basically not really like, it's hard to get into Aeor, so I assume they were hiding the emissary because like he's like a Genasi, so probably some godly link to that, and maybe they would just smell the fact that he's like, a herald of a god too easily, since he's not a god and he can't camouflage it himself, so he's just hiding in the apple crates until they can get into Aeor.
Okay, the thing also said he's our... Wait, the slap of eyes formed in the message. She has left me here, so she didn't even tell them, the emissary.
Yeah, it's one of those like that now, like in my rewatch of the first part, because I only got time to rewatch this first half.
Yeah.
In my rewatch, it makes so much sense, and I'm like, oh, such a heartbreaking phrase. Like, oh, my heart shattered. Yeah, I love that.
I'm just looking the whole scene on board still with the box and the apples. There's so much art in the meantime. It's super cute.
There was so many fan art of just like the emissary like looking over this little apple box. It's adorable.
Wait, I can actually need to drop that. We'll have it in a second. I'm just like looking where I can drop it. Live drop images, yes, incoming. There's a little fan art. I don't know from whom it is. I don't know if you can open that, Yura. It's the stupid WebP format. Who is the... Oh, it says Bolos Bold Division, Mercer and Mercer Bronze. It is hilarious. The Market of Wonders. The Market of Wonders still exists in that fan art. I love it. It's coming up, hopefully. Okay. Wait, it's coming, it's coming. Here. Okay, look at the box, what's on there.
Oh, yes. I saw that one. Oh, that's so cute.
Yes, it is adorable.
Adorable.
I guess I don't know how to pronounce it. It's Liebert, I guess, is the artist. Yeah, so I hope that's okay. I'll try to tag people later on when we put it on YouTube. Oh yeah, guys. Yeah. We are currently at, I don't know how many subscribers, like we were 44 earlier. If we reach 50 and keep on going, 45, nice. If we reach 50, we can actually change the whole setup and hopefully at least temporarily store some stuff on here. Else we'll be on YouTube because we created a YouTube channel to actually save our theories.
Because if you guys don't know, on Twitch, where we are right now, sorry for the YouTube viewers, on Twitch, if you're not at 50 followers, you can't apply to become. Word is escaping me, but basically you don't have access to as many features. And affiliate, thank you God. You can't apply to be affiliate until you get 50 followers and a few other things, which means that the VODs get auto-deleted as after 24 hours, I think. So we're uploading them on YouTube just to make sure that you guys can rewatch it later if you missed those streams.
to see what bullshit we actually were talking about.
Yep. We're keeping a record of the bullshit shit that we say.
Yeah. We actually should rewatch the first two or so, whatever. I'll do that. Just go through what theories we had. VOD will be live on Twitch this time as well. Yeah, I think we had a toggle which we can switch. So this one should go up here too. So we'll see after this stream. Okay, I think... Did we talk about... Should we talk more about the emissary or something?
I mean...
Are we good on that?
I think I've said... maybe what we can do, since we've already talked about it a lot, and teased... not a lot, but since we've already talked about it a little bit, and we've teased about it, maybe I can jump onto my little segment about my spreadsheet?
Or we do that after the break, if you take a quick break?
Yeah, sure.
So the question is, have we covered everything we wanted to talk about the characters right now? And then we could take a break and then we'll start with your spreadsheet because I want to hear your theories and everything.
I think at least from my list of things that I wanted to talk about the characters, I think I have everything. I don't know if you had something else.
Let's check the Twitch real quick. I wanted to see my wife and...
Oh, no, that's a lie. The last thing on my list.
Okay.
One thing that I noted as I was watching early was that every character doesn't have, the surname part of the character sheet just says unknown, which I thought was an interesting choice, because if all your characters don't have a last name, why put it in at all?
Yeah.
I think there's something here, and there's going to be some stuff revealed later.
Okay, I have one. Well, let's finish the characters. So, here we see the unknown. And at the bottom, let's talk about the binary stuff real quick, because the binary codes actually make up basically whatever they stand for as a god. So, let me see if I can tell our director which file that is. It's not the first, it's the second one of the gods. Or is it the first one? I can't really tell. I can tell you in a second. We also, Critical Role, but we'll do that in a second. Just looking for the file. It is... No, that's the second one. It is the character overview. That's the one we need right now. It's 01. Thank you. Here it comes. Okay, so here's the list of characters we have, what they played in the prologue, and so on. This is from the wiki. Thank you, wiki, for doing all the service to us. Especially you look on there and they're like, how do you know all that? That wasn't revealed. But I'm like, okay, either the Critical Role is leaking or you're just on fire. We appreciate you.
Oh, they're just on fire, because you can, every time they put it in info, you can always track it, because it's a wiki, you can see where they took that info from, and it's always amazing. And they're doing such a thorough job, and it's amazing. So thank you, wiki gods.
So we literally have the binary code at the end, which connects to the god they are, and it's really amazing. And the list changed over time. It had the same, took a couple of screenshots and they had changed. So I think that's the current version. That's probably the final for now. And it gives you the most, they should say Game Master, because I think Brennan calls himself Game Master and not Dungeon Master in this case. So yes. No, but besides that, we have all information on there, and death, nature, mercy, law. Mercy? Wait. Is Overlight mercy?
Part of it, yeah.
Okay.
I was also wondering the same thing, and part of her domain is mercy and stuff like that.
Okay. Dawn,
it's more something
law,
that I
beauty.
do you'd assume would be with the lawbearer,
Yeah.
but hers is like a different sort of mercy. It's not like justice. It's more like
I literally would have assumed
I don't
just
know.
basic light, period. But I guess that's connected to the Luxon too much, so
yeah,
I'm
maybe.
sure. And Beauty,
I
Like
mean,
I said, I don't
it's
know
about
much.
the Archheart that we don't know much about. So
okay.
you know, but
Yeah.
like also in the way that like Abubakar plays him, a very like ego, very like he thinks he's the shit. I think Beauty kind of makes sense because like, you know, he thinks he's so cool and he thinks he's so beautiful and he thinks he's so like the
Yeah.
ego part kind of takes
Yeah.
out to me. But like, if you're a god, you're not gonna say, "Hey, I'm the god of ego." You're just gonna say, "Yeah, Beauty."
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. We have another one, which shows the gods, which we could theoretically talk about after the break. But here it is. It lists who is what. So, which we hadn't seen in the other overview. So it pretty much tells you like, here, Matron of Ravens, blah, 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 Sarenrae, and so on. So returning mentions. Was the Stormlord really mentioned? Because I was, there was one thing I'm like, is the Stormlord
Yes. They did mention the Stormlord.
there? Okay.
Just mentioned. It was around the end, I think.
Okay.
They were about to land or something, and they said like, I hear it's gonna get really windy, and someone
Yeah.
asked like,
Oh,
why?
okay.
And then they said, oh, our brother doesn't need to be there to send a storm. So it was basically just like, yeah, the Stormlord just gonna
Okay,
send a
makes sense.
fucking storm our way.
Yeah. That makes sense. Oh yeah, by the way, at the bottom it says Sarharst or whatever, Torok. And I look at that word and it looks like it's, you know, when you can see a word and a couple of letters are twisted, but you still make up the word. This thing looks like Zahnarzt, which means dentist in German. So I look at that word and I want to read Zahnarzt. It is not, but it literally, it's connected to pain for me now, period.
Oh God, yeah.
So, yeah. And I'm pretty sure he saw Zahnarzt and mixed up the letters. So
Maybe.
yeah.
I mean, if he's the incarnation of Torag, like we think it is, dentist sort of makes sense because I'm pretty sure that's the betraying god of pain, or something, or torture or something. Am I mixing them up? Let me check.
Sorry, I was just confused. I thought on the right side is all gods because I was like, is Topher a god? That's the sun.
No. It's just all the characters that were mentioned.
Yeah, I got it. A bit tired.
During the episode.
Okay. Now, also, they were like, hey, everybody's here. No, you're missing 2 people. Well, you didn't bring one either. And I'm like, there are more gods. What are you guys talking about? There are more than 5 gods on each side. What a bullshit. So I'm like offended for both sides.
Yeah, it's like, there's other gods. What are you talking about?
Stormlord's not here. Other people aren't here. So yeah. Also, who decided who's coming? Also, are they there to destroy? Or just check it out for now?
No, I think I'm pretty sure they're here to destroy. It's like,
Okay.
because that's why they mentioned like it's gonna get windy, and if we go along the theory of like the emissary is a bomb, it makes sense that they're like, yeah, we're infiltrating Aeor to destroy it from the inside. Also, they're like kind of like going. They've been talking about going. Maybe we could go in more details about that after the break.
Yes.
But they're talking about like, oh yeah, we need to like do these steps to destroy it because otherwise it's gonna survive and they're gonna build the weapon again.
Yeah. I think the last thing we will do before the break. So last night, a night for us, because obviously the other one, the tweet first from Critical Role. So Critical Role basically tweeted, hey, here's your passport, please fill it out, blah, blah, blah. So people started filling it out and Critical Role instantly started retweeting everyone, which was really nice. So I really love their community manager because they're on point
Yeah.
It is like also because there's more like features of cosplayers, which is for us because they are also cosplayer, which is cool, so they can
They're interacting with fan art
Yes.
and cosplays and just fan content in general so much more lately, and I love it.
Yeah.
Like, I posted one of my cosplays and the official Critical Role account liked it, and I was like, oh my god.
They also put it in the story, right? Wasn't it in the Instagram story?
Did they do that?
Nah, I thought I saw you in the story. Check
I did not know that.
I thought it was. Check your Instagram like messages. It should still show up if you're. I thought I saw you in the story. I'm so sorry if I'm wrong because I was like, I thought you saw it. Or was it a
I haven't been
retweet or
tagged.
something?
I don't have anything in my DMs from Critical Role, so.
Let me see. Maybe I screenshotted it. I'll tell you. Maybe I dreamt it, but I'm pretty sure I saw you in a story somewhere. Maybe it was. Did you put it on Twitter? Maybe was it a repost? Anyway.
They haven't retweeted my post on Twitter, but
I'll look it up. I'll find it. It's stupid if it's gone now, but wait.
But I know a lot of people put it in their Instagram story. So you might have seen it from another cosplayer, maybe.
That might have been, yes. Oh, it was definitely I think a group shot from you guys, if I remember correctly. But you were definitely Aurum. There we go. That's the thing I remember.
It might
all
have
SuperCon right now.
Because I haven't posted group shot yet on my Instagram, so it might be in someone else's mentions.
Okay.
I'll check with the groups that I took pictures from.
I next time I'll take a picture because I was like, oh, I thought you saw it already. So
it's okay.
Right.
Don't worry.
I had that too when they retweeted the chair or they posted it in the story. I didn't see it. I didn't get a notification. So.
All right. I had accidentally archived my post like a dumbass because I don't understand how Instagram works. Anyway.
Don't do that. Did I reach? I'm so mad that I didn't take a screenshot. I'll check in the break real quick because I'm so sure. Anyway, so I made one last night. I pretty much was like, I can't really put the cosplay picture like this on that because the style is more drawn and it looks a bit AI now because I put a paint filter or something on there. So but I was like, okay, I need something that's similar to the font they're using. Couldn't find the correct one, but it's similar. And then the binary code at the bottom from their template, it says downfall. And I literally put it in a translator because I'm like, I need to know what it means. And then I'm like, you know what? I'll put something else there. Mine spells Exandria now. So
nice. I haven't had time to make mine, but I was gonna make mine sometime this week.
Do it.
Because I think it's such a fun thing. It's such a fun little concept.
I mean, if you do it, send it to me. We can make a little like video for Exandria or something and just put different like cards and stuff on there. And like I said, they started retweeting those and they also put some in the stories and it is insane. They are basically reposting everything from SuperCon right now, like people posting their group shots and everything and they're just reposting them. It's so like seeing... That's something we talk about after the break, the SuperCon. I don't know how much you have seen it, but what an amazing...
0. I've seen 0.
Okay, good. All right, I would say we're going to break like 5 minutes, okay? Jed, please stick with us. Thanks for hanging around. Two nerds talking about Critical Role. This is me eating. Hi, welcome back to the Tavern of Theories. Before the break, we actually talked about episode 1 of Downfall, which we will continue with Sasha.
Hi!
So we are back. It's kind of, I think we stopped at the point that's also almost the break there. I think like character introduction, getting to Aeor. I think... pretty much, right? So, should we
Um,
continue with the with your sheet talking about the characters,
Yes.
or okay?
I would
Cool.
love that.
And
So
welcome back to the chat. Thanks for sticking around.
yes, thank you for sticking around. Now is maybe where we lose all the viewers because I'm gonna go in nerd math talk. But I'm sure
love
since
it.
we're all D&D nerds here, everybody's gonna enjoy that.
That's true. So,
basically,
do you wanna talk about characters or just in general? Because we can at least show the character while you talk about certain things. It's up to you.
it's gonna be more general.
Okay, cool.
We're not gonna go into all the maths that I did between each character. I'm just gonna tell you guys my conclusions out of my analysis Google.
Okay.
So basically, on Saturday, the keen observant viewers will notice that I'm not in the same environment that I was last week, and I also have much more terrible audio. That's because I am in my hometown right now, visiting family. So I had like a 9-hour bus ride to get here that I was so bored. I did not know what to do. So I just pulled up my laptop and I started doing a spreadsheet, trying to figure out, because from the character sheet, we have 2 stats, the HP level and the AC, which is not a lot to go off of, but we did not have the level for each characters, and I was like very, very intrigued to try and figure out what level they would be based on those 2 stats.
You have the classes, but a lot multi-class, so
a lot of multi-class, which makes my life a living hell. Which is why, Nick, with all the love in the world, you made my life so much harder. But yes, since the HP stats are so crazy, we know it's high level. So I kind of started from there. And what I did, basically, is that I made a huge spreadsheet with a tab for each character, where I made like automatic like estimation of what their HP would be based on their class and their con stat. Like it was like one. If their con was +1, +0, plus like all of those column, and then like all the levels, and so it makes just like a huge spread of numbers. And from that, I was trying to I highlighted like all the numbers that are close-ish to the current HP of each characters to try and figure out what level in Constitution score do they have. And I think I came to the conclusion, based on my findings, that the characters are within the level 18 to 20 range, but very much more likely to be 20 than 18.
Do you think
Could
they
be 19,
would have
but also
different?
like 19 just.
Do you think they would have different levels or all the same?
Based on the HP, they were basically all like. My highlighted like similar numbers were all within the same squares.
Okay.
I assume they're all the same levels. But yeah, like it's much like level 19 was very likely. But why would you make a one-shot level 19? Why not make it level 20, right?
They're gods. They're fucking 20.
Like if you're gonna do it at level 19, might as well do it at level 20. Was kind of my way of thinking.
It's like, hey, we are basically gods. Yeah, in this case they are.
yeah. It's like you're fucking gods. Yeah, it just makes sense. The
emissary might
I don't
be
think
lower.
The emissary is. It wouldn't be the one that could be. It makes sense to be lower, but based on his HP, he already has HP way too high, even for, because what I did is I used like different methods of
he
HP.
has 285. Plus he's a rock. So hello.
The thing is, I don't know which method they used to calculate their HP. So I made like within my tabs of numbers, I made copies of those like tables with different rolling methods and like different calculation methods, just to see because the emissary was one that like when I did with average rolls for a barbarian, which is a d12, his HP was not even high enough, like at level 20 with maxed out constitution. So I was like, okay, definitely he probably maybe has the tough feat which would make sense. He could have another item. Maybe he has a
Extra.
constitution over 20 that gives him like extra constitution, because I just stopped calculating at +5.
Emissary is wearing a ring of something.
Maybe, but like, so what I assume that the emissary has like at least a tough feat, because like, yeah, it just doesn't make sense otherwise. Or that he rolled really, really, really high and rolled above average, which could also make sense when rolling his HP. But basically, like, even the emissary was like technically too high HP for a level 20. Based on average rolls, at least. So yeah, I'm pretty confident to say that they are level 20. I'm not gonna. I know I put it on the. I think I put it on bingo, right? Level 20.
I think. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's on the bingo.
Oh, on the bingo. Sorry. Yes, PCs are level 20. Wait.
Yeah, I haven't checked it off yet because I don't have enough information to be 100% sure.
Yes.
So yeah, and after that, because that just calculating the HP only took me 4.5 hours out of my 9 hours bus ride. So I was like, okay, what else can I do on this spreadsheet? So the other thing that I started doing that I'm not done yet because I didn't have network anymore when I got to that point, so I couldn't just like go look through the VODs. I started going through the VOD and grabbing every time they used a spell, I would write it down. And so trying to see if they mentioned, for example, a spell DC or like a roll that they did. Trying to find like anything that could help me figure out their exact stats for every stats, because I'm basically trying to reconstruct their character sheet out of the little information that we have, which is not a lot.
Did you have Asha's spell DC? Because on the wiki it's 19 currently for detect thoughts.
I think that's in the second half, which I didn't. I just couldn't do
you haven't
like,
done yet.
No
yes.
network.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I just saw
but that's
that.
something I wanna. I was gonna check the wiki this week and see what the wiki have had it that I didn't. But yeah, like
telepathic feat mentioned for Asha.
Ooh, fun. I love that.
But
yeah, one of the things that I did find was early in the second half, I think, or at the end of the first half.
That was the break again? Was it?
I think it's
when they met the betrayers, or
no?
When they landed.
I think that was. I don't know. I think it's when they landed. But
makes sense.
I'm not sure. But yes, I'm pretty sure the emissary has a loft feat because he mentioned luck. Yeah. But I don't know if it's from an item or the feat or your homebrew stuff from being sent by a god. Maybe. Yeah. So it's like he has some sort of way to get the luck.
I'll give you luck once in case you make a mistake. Just do it again.
Okay, yeah. Confirmed from chat. Break was when they got to Aeor. Thank you.
Thank you.
But yeah, one thing that I like, for example, Amira used suggestion at one point, and I was like, oh, great, let me go like grab like her spell DC. But they fucking forgot to roll the spell DC. Like this
wiki doesn't have one either
on this. Because so what happened? I had to go back at the moment because like, oh, surely the wiki forgot to write it, right? Or surely like. But I went to look back at the clip, and what happened is they asked, Brennan asked Laura to roll, I think it was deception, to roll a deception check, basically, to see if her opponent would realize that she's casting a spell, and she succeeded in that roll. And then they forgot to roll the spell DC, because I remember that, I think Brennan asked, what's your DC, but then just moved on to the roll thing for deception, and they just forgot to roll the DC after that, and I was like, oh, or if they rolled it, they just didn't announce it, and I was like, oh well, there goes my information, damn it.
There is one wanting to avoid an interrogation. She casts suggestion, telling one of the corporals. It could be also because her like spell DC is so high that he could not have made the save. Maybe.
I think not necessarily that her DC is so high, but maybe he rolled behind the screen and rolled like a 2, and it was like, "There's no way I'm beating that DC. I'm not even gonna bother asking it again."
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's just like I can't beat it, so I won't ask for it. And maybe if he rolled it, you know what I mean?
It's definitely something that's possible, but they didn't say it out loud, and I was like,
"Yeah, that's true."
but my spreadsheet.
Yes, I know. Well, she uses Mage Hand, but that's a cantrip, so.
Yeah, the like honestly, all the spells that were used did not give me any information.
Yeah.
At least that to the point that I got. Like, I'm not done rewatching the thing to write down all the spells.
We have Find Familiar, which leads to Pact of Chain, but I mean, again, she is her own whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. And we have Suggestion and Invisibility on 2nd level. That's probably what you wrote down too.
Oh, the other one that we have that gave us a lot of information was Aiden. As a paladin, he has Aura of Protection, which is a thing that unlocks at level 6. So we know that he has at least 6th level of
that's a good
paladin.
Hint. That's good.
That's a good start, especially for 4 fucking multi-class.
Oh, hello.
That's helped me a lot.
It also means for the other levels, I mean, he might have just taken one cleric. I think you rather share like belief like a cleric than a paladin. Although he has the fucking shield. Although as a cleric you can have a shield too. So I don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, so his aura of protection and aura of protection is based on the charisma.
Yes.
So the plus that you add to your like allies nearby is your charisma modifier, and his was +5. So we know he has a +5. So that's like a 20 charisma.
At least, yeah.
Which I'm like, crazy. Thank you. And technically, they said that Ashley also has it. Triss also has it, but they didn't use hers. Which I'm not familiar with paladin stuff, so I don't know if there's 2 paladin within 10 feet, do you add both the aura of protection, or do you just take the strongest one?
I don't know. Okay,
but they did mention what they didn't use her aura of protection at all, which was odd to me.
Yeah. Did you have anything else before I interrupt with stuff from the wiki to him, Aiden, spell-wise, because it might have come in the second half, which you haven't touched yet?
The other thing I had for him, we know that he's at least paladin level 6. He used what did he use? I think it's Lesser Restoration.
Yes, that could be 2nd level cleric or paladin. Both have it.
Cleric, paladin, and druid also have it.
Okay. Yeah, the cleric. The wiki just states cleric or paladin spell because I think they went lower on the druid.
But yeah, he could maybe have 3 levels of druid if the Lesser Restoration came from druid, it could be, but I don't think it's from druid.
Here's the crazy thing. I think he's way higher. Because the wiki also says, like Rary's telepathic bond is available as a peace domain cleric 9th level, which makes it 5th level spell or something. Yes.
Yeah.
So, and Death Ward is a 4th level cleric spell. So, and Create Water is a 3rd level cleric spell. So he must be very high on the cleric side, very high on the paladin side. It's like he's high on everything. If he's
level 20, you said what? Cleric level 9 was the highest you said?
Yeah. For a rare.
So if you have 9 levels of cleric plus 6 levels of paladin, that's like 9 plus 6, that's 15. He has maybe 2 or 3 of barbarian and 2 or 3 of druid, and that's his build, and that's 20. But
But
So,
also armor class
yeah.
of 23, 255. I feel like, couldn't he be Josiah? Because he's a fucking Dawnfather.
I mean, it's definitely likely, but character build wise, I don't know how that would happen. That might be some weird homebrew that we can cross off from our bingo
Would be
later.
nice.
Of, like,
come on,
they're
that
all
must be
like level
homebrew.
fucking 30, and it's like they're not even you can't even dream of getting to their level because they're fucking gods, you know.
Yeah, I mean, duh. It's the same. Oh, they mentioned that. It's like we can't really die. We die here, but we don't die, but we also can't come back here directly, which makes the whole reincarnation, the whole, we need a moment to actually establish ourselves again, and we can't just pop back in. So
yeah, it's like their mortal form is gonna die, and they're gonna need some time to reestablish it.
To find a rat.
Which,
no, sorry.
Fun.
Yeah.
No, but that was basically it. What I had from my
What's with the other characters?
So we know that Asha likely has 20 wisdom, 20 dexterity because she has like AC of 20, which is crazy for a monk because monks can't wear armor.
True.
But monks do monks have unarmored defense, which adds their wisdom to their AC, which +5 makes 20 AC. So she probably has 20 on both, which is great for a monk. That's going to be really fun. And the other one that I'm pretty sure has a double 20 is, I think the emissary probably has a 20 strength, 20 dex based on the AC again. But I think he also has an item, because even with 20 dex, 20 strength, his AC is still missing 2. So unless he has higher than 20 on one of those stats, or an item of some sort that adds to his AC, that's what we have there. We know the rest is just basic stuff of like, we know they have at least 13 in that stat based on the multi-class rules.
If we cross a wolf and an elf, is it a welf? Sorry. I just saw wolf and elf next to each other.
Welf.
A welf. It says Asha has a DC of 19, and that refers back to, where's the one? Detect thoughts.
Detect thoughts that you mentioned. Again, I ran out of time because I'm visiting family. I didn't have that much time to go over the VOD, but I'll definitely keep doing that this week. Because
I'm so curious what you come up with, and if you're like better than the wiki.
The one thing I did come up with, is that Asha likely does not carry any magical items.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Because when the guards were coming to like inspect them,
with the detect magic
Brennan
stuff?
did the detect magic, and Brennan asked who would have things that would come up in detect magic, and Asha said not me, so she likely doesn't have any magical items, which is how I came up with the 2020 for her stats to get to a 20 AC.
Yeah,
because she could have bracers of defense, which is an armor thing that monks are allowed to use. But since she mentioned that she does not have anything that would get detected by detect magic, I think it's safe to assume that she doesn't have anything. And also, she's a goddess of nature, so it makes sense that she's not carrying like magical stuff to protect herself. She's also a wolf, so like, why would a wolf wear bracers of defense?
You just
magical
the thing
shit?
is, you just wild shape into a human till you're whatever down with those hit points, and then I mean that's the best defense you can have. Sorry, it's like just take those hit points down, and then we'll talk.
That would be
interesting.
Asked, can you imagine if they had all 20s for all their stats? I was wondering about that, and that would be fun. However, I know that Emira does not have 20 on
She's
charisma.
Not a real god. She made herself into a god.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know why I think. Why did I write that she has 19 charisma?
She does. Wait. I had
forgot
her thing
why.
open just now. No, I can tell you. The wiki said
There
that
was something
too.
in the VOD that like she mentioned, and that led me to think she has a 19 stat of charisma because she doesn't have a +5. She has a +4 on something. But my notes are lacking on that part, so I don't know why. And she also does, based on my math for Constitution, probably does not have. I assume she has like a 16. Ish, 16, 17-ish Constitution based on the math. It could be higher, but the math makes more sense if she's
Wait,
has
what
a
was that?
+3.
No, AC we know. What did you just say, sir? Charisma?
Charisma 19 is what I have as a guess for her.
Might be. Wait, she's not multi-class. Is she? She's just warlock. That's weird that she wouldn't have a 20 though, because that would be her highest stat.
Yeah, but maybe she didn't. I don't know. But why did I think she has a 19 charisma? I don't. I'll have to go back over my stuff, and maybe we can talk about it next week when we have more information. I'll keep filling out that spreadsheet for sure. But yeah.
Charisma based pact magic. No, there's not much more. It's it would be weird since she's not multi-class that she doesn't have the highest stat in there. I feel like they would have given. Yeah, I know. I feel like as a baseline, they should have given at least every god a 20 in their highest, in their spellcasting slot at least, without rolling. But
I mean, I could be wrong. Again, this is just from
my
estimation of probably one sentence that they said.
It doesn't feel like, otherwise the wiki would have also listed it with a 20. They haven't, so you might be right.
But I think the wiki hasn't tried to list their stats yet.
They did for the others with their 20s.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, right. See, I haven't had time to look at the wiki in 3 days, so I am not up to date to what they've been updating.
It is being added slowly. Sometimes they added the DC or a charisma stat or something. It's slowly added, so people are figuring out shit right now. Yeah.
Because when I was doing my spreadsheet on Saturday, the transcript for the episode was not over. They were only halfway through.
Yeah.
Which is why most of my notes on most of my wiki stuff, most of my sheet stuff end at that halfway point, because I didn't have enough network to just load the VOD.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
No, I know it's fine. I'm just saying, I'm just not up to date on that. Topaz wearing bracers, duh. I love this image of a wolf just full armor and then changing wild shape. That's funny. Yeah. But yeah, that was it for my spreadsheet segment. Bottom line is, I'm pretty sure they're level 20. It's all complicated math to get to the conclusion that we were all basically sure of, since they're gods.
Yeah. I just realized I did post something about the origins of the beacon and stuff like that in our feed. Someone was talking about it, but I haven't rewatched the video yet, but we can do that for next time. Sorry, I got distracted for a second because I was looking if we forgot anything.
Hopefully we get more lore
I hope so.
In the next episode about Lux and stuff, because I have a slight theory. Because we know that Aeor was working a lot with Dunamancy.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm very interested to see, now that we are in Aeor, how that plays out, and what do they think about if they have beacons? What do they think about it? How do they see them? Because we know that the Twin Dynasty sees the beacon as a religious thing and praise them and stuff, but other parts of the world, Trent Ikithong, see them as more things to be studied and powerful magic stuff, and probably the way Aeor sees it. But I'm interested because from the little that we've seen, of Aeor. Aeor is very much like anti-god, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like if you believe in a god, you're not allowed in our city. This is not a safe place for you. Like you're not gonna get anywhere if you believe in a god in Aeor. But like there's still some like little underlying like
that's
underground stuff, god stuff. So I'm wondering if there's like a Kryn dynasty, maybe like dark elves.
Oh, there must be something
in Aeor who praise the beacon. Something like I don't know. It's fun.
It's also interesting because the city used to have like temples and worship and stuff because that's where they met and where they restored the thing. And they're like, oh, you're not on there. Just like go fuck yourself. That's just something I just remembered. But I love how it all went down and the focus was on the gods and meeting the betrayers and whatever. And it's like introducing everything, very juicy and everything. But I feel like I want to see more of Aeor and the whole like teaser pictures, you know, with the absorber beasts and blah, blah, blah. That stuff has been touched, yes, but it's not like really there yet, you know what I mean? I want more from Aeor.
We are in Aeor, but we haven't
not
found out much more than we already knew about Aeor. But yeah, speaking of the betrayers, maybe we can jump on that real quick.
That would be good.
When gods got to Aeor, they met with Archmage Arcadia Serenvitorix, if I said that correctly. Which at first I was like, interesting. And then they called her sister, and I was like, oh, that's another god. And then by the time I figured it out, the wiki had updated. But basically that's Ioun, the goddess of knowledge. And the way I figured that out was that she basically said,
Nose.
Easy for me to say, I always want knowledge. It's like, oh, of course that's Ioun. Like that's how it clicked for me, which is so dumb because like it's the most obvious like, yes, I am the goddess of knowledge. Look at me, I'm the goddess of knowledge sentence ever.
Yeah. I know everything, don't insult me, what the fuck.
And it was so funny. But then they met with like a group of people that was the betrayer. And
So is Arcadia just like an in-between thing? You know what I mean? Oh, just keep the view on the god thing open. Thanks. Because there's a list of everyone they met and so on. So because she's not, I mean, she's there. She didn't arrive with them. They did interact and she's on their side because she did facilitate shit, but she also made it happen, you know what I mean? So it's like...
So the way I understood it is that the gods, when they decided to come to Exandria, they chose they chose lives for themselves to go undercover. The Archheart chose to be an Aeormaton in Aeor, which turned out to be like a really smart idea because he was like already infiltrated in Aeor and got to help his brothers and sisters infiltrate as well. And that's what I assumed Ioun did as well. She just took the life of an Archmage, like a high-powered wizard in Aeor, so that she could like help get her brothers and sisters into the city.
So
yeah,
would they just leave those mortal shapes and leave and they lose the memories that they have ever been a god, being like, oh, something feels off?
Like wake ups and like, why are we 7 years in the future?
Last
Where
night?
the fuck am I? Why am I in a destructed place? What's happening? Could be.
Also, Father Milo. I was like, okay, everybody's Asmodeus, and I'm like, it makes sense. He should be the leader of the pack, obviously. So, and that he is a father. Holy shit!
He said something about lies. I think He said a line about lies, and I was like, holy shit, that's Asmodeus. But I think it's such a big fuck you to the gods for Asmodeus to come as a priest. And a priest of the fucking Dawn Fodder. Like, oh my god, that's so fucking good. It's so fucking funny.
It is hilarious.
Honestly, it's a slay from Asmodeus. Asmodeus, you slayed.
Yeah, he did. For sure.
Quite literally, he did, yes. But yeah, we have...
also, Arcadia actually said, like, hey, let's take the week, investigate. And he was like, no, we don't have time. We have a night. So he pushed the whole thing. So he was like, let's make it happen. Let's bring them down before they destroy us. So...
But also, he had extra information that Arcadia did not have that kind of pushed things along. But he was like, yeah, no, fuck it. Let's destroy it now. And I was like, this guy gets it. It's rare that I vouch for the Betrayer Gods, but like I was vouching for the Betrayer Gods so hard in that scene because they were so funny.
Oh, yeah. I think he also was the person who was like, hey, you're missing people, whatever. Or no, he was like, yeah, we're missing people, but you have the Raven Queen, which is not even like a god, and here Emissary, which is also not a god, but a representative. So technically you guys suck. So
yeah. Oh, he was so funny.
He was good.
With our current like Wildmount campaign, I would never see myself vouching for Asmodeus, but right now I'm vouching for Asmodeus and it's weird.
I know. Also, we know there was a whole insulting, like, oh, Aiden was a cleric of the Everlight, so we know that part. So Aiden is... So... I know it's not a situation ship, but they are connected. Can we do a connection ship?
I mean, yes.
So can you be a god, but also kind of like you have a patron which is a different god? Is that fucking weird?
I mean, the human... what I assume is going on there is that the human Aiden...
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. A cleric of the Everlight before the gods were like, yeah, let me take over your life and become you.
How is the connection between the Dawnfather and so Palor and Sarenrae? Are they connected?
Are they connected? It's like, I mean, all gods are connected in some ways.
But like, I think they have
like very similar domains. Because I'm pretty sure, because Palor has the sun, right?
Yeah.
In his domain, and the Everlight has light itself, so they have like connections from their domains. Yeah. Like the Everlight is one of those gods that like she has overlapping domains with the Lawbearer and Palor. At least in Exandria canon, because I'm pretty sure she was a god from Pathfinder that they grabbed over. Okay. And so, because Wendy came to stream on Twitch, Pike was they played on Pathfinder before, and they had to like transition all their builds into D&D. And the Everlight, I'm pretty sure, was a deity from Pathfinder that they just said, yeah, she's canon in Exandria now. She's D&D now. So she has like overlapping domains with Palor and the Lawbearer.
There is...
The class of Aidens is from the Everlight cleric or paladin. We're not really sure because we have so little information. I assume it's cleric though, because
Pike is also cleric. I don't think they're paladin. I don't know. It could be, obviously, but
because of his build, I think I don't know. I just I had a reason for it, but I'm pretty sure he's cleric of the Everlight. I think it's because his connection, like Aiden's connection to Trist.
Yeah.
They were talking about something.
Yeah.
Cleric, and he mentioned. Anyway, I'm not sure.
Yeah, you still have like a cleric or paladin for Sarenrae or Everlight or whatever it was. It's like, that's hilarious.
Yeah. I think that's it.
So I was just curious about Pilar and Sarenrae. So after Aeor, I mean, they kind of trapped whatever betrayer gods, imprisoned them, whatever, and there was betrayal, and they tried to do that to Torok and blah blah blah. So there's a whole drama situation still going. I was just trying to see if there's an actual interconnection, but I guess that will be updated after Downfall.
We'll find out more. We'll find out more.
But it was like, I get it. He's in a little boy's body, but he's still a fucking powerful god. So wow, Asmodeus, wow. Way to go.
Okay, to get back on the conversation about the betrayer god, there's something that I'm pretty sure neither you nor Patch, and probably not a lot of people at all, have made a connection. And I'm really excited to talk about it. So, we talked about it a little bit last week. There was an interview with Brennan that came out on YouTube where he mentioned Bolo. And the interviewer asked, are we going to hear more of Bolo's accent since we know that Bolo is from Aeor? And he said, well, you're certainly going to hear Bolo's accent.
We did.
We don't, like, he specifically said, like, it might not be coming from Aeor, but, like, you're going to be hearing Bolo's accent. We did hear Bolo's accent. I don't know if you noticed.
I did, but at the end.
Tishar, the barbarian woman, who is assumed to be, can I get a fact check? Who do we think she is as a betrayer?
Sorry, I just clicked on her. Tishar is supposed to model incarnation of Grumsh.
Grumsh, yes.
I don't know how to pronounce that, sorry.
You pronounced it exactly how it's supposed to be pronounced. Grumsh, who is a betrayer god. So, like, does that mean that Bolo was, like, a secret sleeper agent of Grumsh that was there in Avalier?
Maybe. Or was just from barbaric background because kill.
Like,
I need the drinks.
Part of me is like, ooh, what if Bolo was a sleeper agent all along, like an infiltrated agent all along? What if Bolo was
a god?
Maybe Bolo was maybe Bolo was Grumsh disguised, and we didn't see it, and she helped take down Avalier because she was doing other stuff outside of the stream calamity stuff. Anyway, I thought that was very exciting.
Grumsh has issues with the Archard. How do you pronounce it?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I heard the accent, but I was like, okay, Brandon basically mentioned that more people can have it. I was like, it's like that it might be actually Bolo. I wasn't thinking. It could be, which would be fucking hilarious because the fandom would go wild. But I don't think so.
I don't think Tishar is Bolo. I'm just saying maybe Bolo was like
sleeping
champion
agent
of Grumsh, something like a demon from hell,
kill bag,
something of the sort, which I think would be so fucking funny.
I need
of Brennan to just be like, yeah, retroactively, let me make this silly character that we came up on the spot actually like lore significant. So, yeah.
I think you might be right. It would be amazing. There's definitely something. Wait, in the 5th edition, Grumsh is married to his wife, cave goddess Luthic. Wow.
Damn, Grumsh is a lesbian and has Paylor. Is it Paylor who has beef with Grumsh?
No, the Corellian, the
Archard.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, Archard going for lesbians, kind of homophobic.
They lost an eye to the elf god, so to them, to Corellian. I don't know. I apologize. I only see names. I never hear them spoken, so I don't know. Even if I have an accent.
Things, like, I've read so much about them, but I don't know how to pronounce them.
Just topic switch to a book. It's like Akuta. So I never, because I read that like years ago, okay? It took ages to whatever. So when the black guy came in, the dark, everybody swooning over, I didn't know how to pronounce him. And everybody says it differently because for me, it looks like Rysand. So everybody says Rysand or whatever. I'm like, that sounds disgusting. What are you guys talking about? So I'm like, I can't deal with you guys. So book to go away.
Yeah. I've never read Akatar, actually.
Yeah.
I don't read much books anymore, which is a shame.
Me neither.
Because I just don't have time.
Same. So that's why I listened to Critical Role or whatever. I didn't even listen to a lot of audiobooks. I listened to literally Critical Role and other shows or TV shows in general. And I'm like, I think the reason why I don't really like audiobooks is if I don't like the narrator and he speaks or she speaks every like voice, go away. It doesn't work for me. So I need the change. Yeah. Anyway, getting back to Critical Role. So, Grumsh, who else? Will we see more of Grumsh? Did he describe her with an eye patch or something? Am I making that up?
I did not write down the descriptions. I could not tell you. Hold on, let me check.
T-shirt. Wait, I have it open. I can see if there's more. No, it doesn't say much.
But he described her as like a big buff barbarian woman.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which I was like, Yeah. Mummy?
Mummy?
Sorry. Mummy? Yeah.
Oh, Umleta? Oh, Umleta. No, Umleta?
Umleta, yeah.
Yeah. Sounds
Umleta,
like Umleta.
the little halfling.
Yeah. So that was the halfling, right? It's being said to be Loth, I think.
Wolf, yeah, the Spider Queen.
Sorry, the Spider Queen. My brain's not working. I can't pronounce shit. I stopped this.
And then we have the dentist, who is a model incarnation.
I love that so much. The Zahnarzt. Torok. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I found the page about Torog. Is an evil god of torturers, slavers, and jailers. So, like, dentist fucking works for a torturer.
Yeah, I was actually looking at art, but it's just like claws coming out of I guess a mouth, maybe? I don't know, hole.
The dark hole, pith kind of thing. Yeah.
So what was it? Wait, the Chain of Oblivion?
I think Chain of Oblivion was mentioned, but
it was mentioned, but the whole. What was the thing with not frog? Was it a frog? No, turtle. I'm an idiot. Thing. What is the turtle thing? My brain's like, there was a turtle. There was mention of chains and turtle and what was that?
I don't remember.
Turtle. I'm looking in the wiki because turtle. Oh, that was a sickly turtle. That was the dentist. Torn by hooks and racked by spikes. Because that's why I was like chained or something, but it's not. So it's the Zahnarzt.
Oh yeah, I did write it down. It says turtle right there. I read my note and I was like, notice. My brain just does not process what I was reading. It's been a long day.
It's okay. I'm like, why was he on the altar? Like bleeding and blah blah blah. Is it just because he is the torture god?
Probably.
Okay.
Probably.
Right.
Yeah. I had a few things here that I wrote down that were just like banger quotes that I was like, holy shit, this is so good, that I wanted to bring up, like, not as a theory, but just as like
Facts.
banger fucking quotes. Like, holy shit, that's so good. One of them was Asmodeus. Asmodeus said, I don't think there's much to do for us at this point. The city might defeat you all just by making you all talk to one another.
Yep. It's like, don't have to do anything.
It was so good. Because they were like fighting and stuff, and Asmodeus was like, damn, I'm not gonna do shit. They're just gonna like destroy you guys, and I'm not gonna have to lift a fucking finger. And like,
I love that.
So good.
I mean,
it was so good.
It's easy to be evil if the good guys can't figure out their plan. It's great, and then they're fighting each other. You don't have to do
Which is like the whole basis of the calamity, because like the betrayer were like, "Fuck it, you guys have nothing figured out. Let me take over and like fuck your guys' life."
Let us just poke a hole so we can get out, and the rest you do. It's great.
Exactly.
And especially as soon as you have like. Asmodeus, as soon as he hooks into someone, it could be just because people are still people. They have emotions, and it's like Sam's character, and it's just like they will go for love or whatever, or for the human emotion of like, hey, even if it's like I'm a hero, I'll go out in a bang. It's like they will go for love. Yep. So.
And the other quote that I wrote down was, I think it was said around that same time, in that same conversation, was a quote from Laura, who was playing as the Raven Queen.
Yeah.
Which I think is so clever and perfect and amazing. And oh my God, Laura Bailey, I love you. She says, death is inevitable. It's just guiding them to a shorter thread.
Yeah, that's an amazing sentence.
What the fuck?
Yep.
It's so Raven Queen of her to say that.
Yeah.
But also like justifying killing innocents and just being like, they're gonna die anyway. It's like, whoa. God. Yeah. And she said another one, but I didn't write down the exact phrasing of that one. She said something about like, because they were like arguing, and some of the gods said like, oh, but who cares? We're immortal. Like, we're never gonna die.
Yeah.
And Laura, like, and the Raven Queen was like, bitch, you can die. I killed one of you guys. I did that. Like, I am here because one of you guys died. Like, you can't just go around and act like you're never gonna die and nothing can kill you. Because like, I killed a god. I am here because I killed a god. And it was like, oh my God, that's so fucking good. And
I think she actually
they talked about it in. Yeah, go ahead.
There was another, like, when she was, when Asmodeus basically said, you're not even a god or something, she basically pushed back and like, hey, look, I'm here.
Yeah.
Same sentiment. I'm not sure if
I've
it was that
defeated one
moment.
of you guys. Like, I'm here because I defeated one of you guys.
Yeah. And you don't even know their name anymore. That's not what she said, I think. But that's pretty much it. You don't even remember that person.
And they talked about it a little bit in the post, like in the post campaign thing. What do you call it? The
cooldown.
Cooldown. Thank you.
Yeah.
They talked about it a little bit in the cooldown about that specific sentence of like, yo, I killed one of you guys and I'm here. You guys are not immortal. And like, it's kind of like all the other gods, like Coriolan, the Archard, being like. Yeah, you're here because like the other one was tired of this shit. He wanted out. He let you kill him.
Sure.
He let you take over.
Sure.
It's not gonna happen to me. I am too good for this. I want to be here. Kind of like the ego of the gods and how they think they're unkillable, but like it's the same thing that happened to Avalier. It's their own like ego that killed them. Like that's not gonna end well for you if you don't like wake up and realize that you're not invincible.
Let me just 1 sec. In her time, her knowledge didn't destroy.
Yeah, like
I don't know.
Like someone said in chat, I don't think it's as simple as she killed him. Maybe he wanted to no longer be a god. And that's what the other gods are assuming, because they're like, oh no, we're unstoppable. We are not going to be killed. So they assume that like that's what happened, but we don't know. Maybe there was a little bit of it that like helps her take over. That like the previous god of death was like, yeah, let me die actually, because that makes sense. I'm a god of death. Let me die.
It wouldn't be like she walks past and be like, oh, you don't want to live anymore. I'll take over your spot. I think she had ambition.
No. she had ambition for sure, and but like probably part of it why she managed to succeed was probably because the god of death.
So someone came up with you actually posted that to our little discussion. Someone on Twitter actually made a connection, but they misspelled the name, and it's actually the grandfather. But they were talking about that. Oh God, what's her face?
Oh, is it
Marisha's character, Pesha's mother. Yeah. We don't know her name.
Yeah.
So it could have been that her mom is the Raven Queen now, but that's like too far away. Plus, the name refers more to her grandfather. So, you know,
because what that person on Twitter said was that, because that person on Twitter kind of got names mixed up, like you said. Because Pesha's grandfather is Aeor Passport, spelled I-M-Y-R. And someone on Twitter heard Amira and was like, "Oh my God, Aeor Passport! Like that's her mother! Holy shit!" And kind of assumed that like that's how they knew the name, but kind of got it mixed up. It could have been. It could be.
It could.
We don't know. A little reference to Aeor. Maybe
it doesn't need to be spelled the same way. We don't know, but
it could be that the Raven Queen, when she was like, let me take a mortal incarnation of my father's name, that could, you know.
We at least know that the Raven Queen talked to Pesha, so Laura's character talked to Marisha's character. That is a fact. We know that. If it was her mother and she forgot her name, we don't know. Also, I don't think she forgot the name of her parents, but it could be. I mean, she forgot everything around it, but I don't think her grandfather made her forget everything. Did he?
I'm pretty sure he made her forget everything, especially names have powers. It's been the whole theme of Calamity of like names have powers, so like we're gonna remove the names to remove the memory. But I'm pretty sure it's safe to assume that Aeor, the grandfather one, took all the memories, including their names, just so Pesha wouldn't even have anything to remember that she had parents in the first place.
What I love is still that they have connections to the other characters. I mean, we could have assumed that, but again, like mentioned before, it would have been too easy to assume that. Like, Ashley is Everlight.
Well,
that's like.
We gotta give a shout out to Patch, because Patch figured that out. He was like, no, but I think he said it. I think last week that like Taliesin could be playing something of Melora, and Ashley could be playing something of the Everlight, and that could be cool.
That's true.
Which, by the way, I was so wrong last week on my guess for Ashley's character. Most of them I was wrong, but like I was saying like, oh yeah, I have a feeling that Ashley's gonna play like something emo goth and maybe like play with like a betrayer god or something. And no, she's just a sweet little mom that plays like
the opposite
as a palantir of the Everlight, and it's just like the sweetest little lady.
If you guys had assumed that Laura is the warlock, which she is now, you wouldn't have said we have two goth, so that wouldn't have happened. But it happened. So anyway, I mean, it would be. Ooh, okay. So you haven't watched it, and it's a segue to something else. So SuperCon, if you watched the panel. I mean, I couldn't. Whatever. Basically, it came up. Hey, if we played another one shot, should we do like Darrington Brigade? And yes. So there might be everyone went wild. So there might be another live show with Darrington Brigade, and we're talking about the characters, and they were also talking about like the fact which was your favorite like character to play, overall campaigns and stuff like that. So it's definitely worth watching, and there are a couple of like surprises in there. So it's pretty cool. That kind of was. Panels for me always feel too short because it's just a handful of questions, and it's like, okay. But that's also what I wanted to tell basically about the con. For me, like that con is in my head not attractive. It's like, oh, it's SuperCon Florida. I know nothing about it. I know Dragon Con, I know San Diego, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, but I don't know anything about it. So I assumed like, it's going to be probably a smaller con than like a big Comic-Con, okay? So, which is also cool to meet the cast because there won't be as many people. Like MCM was totally overrun. It was too much. People were exhausted. I don't know how they did it. No idea. And looking at SuperCon, it's like everyone was there. So Critical Role, although they announced Sam wouldn't really be there, was there. Around was Robbie was there. Amy, yes.
Yep.
And so on. So it was several guests that have been on XU and so on. And then Neil.
Neil Newburn.
Newburn. Why is my brain broken currently with names? Anyway, there's so many things, and they all ended up in a bar, like a track bar.
Yes!
Freaking good. Oh my god.
I saw the clips on Twitter of that and I lost my shit. I was at a family function when those clips came out and I was trying not to watch them because, there's one of them that's like literally a drag queen ripping the shirt off of Liam. And doing naughty things with it. And I was like, I am surrounded by my aunts and uncle and cousins that I have never seen in my life. And I was just like under the table at the restaurant seeing this and I was like, oh my god, like it was crazy.
Yeah, there were two perspectives of Matt dancing and that was great. So good. So much stuff. And then, which is hope for us that Neil actually ends up on Critical Role at some point, like a Matt hugging him and stuff like that. So great. So great.
That picture was so cute.
Yeah.
Them just hugging
They knew what they were doing. There was also a clip
that came out of that same interaction where Neil jokingly dragged them behind the curtain I was like, oh, mwah, mwah, mwah. Yeah,
there's so many things. It's really cool. And also the reaction from the fans that were there. You see all the videos, pictures, and so on. I don't know if anyone is in the chat who was in Florida, but it felt like a really good con to meet the cast because it wasn't a critter con. So even like the pictures of the meetup I saw, okay, that was on Friday, so I assume it was a bit smaller. There weren't as many critters, but it wasn't like insanity. So I think it was actually nice con. So one could consider smaller cons.
the meetup was organized by a fan, by our crossplayer. She put it together. I don't remember her username, but I know she was cosplaying Liliana Tumult and she was amazing. Looked great. Caitlin is her name, I think. Can't remember her username though, so.
Nerdy Nostalgia.
Yes, that's it. That's one. Yeah. But there was so many pictures from that convention of just people running into the cast randomly and like taking pictures.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was such since it was a smaller con, like you said, it was probably not too crowded, so the cast could just go walk around. Because I know there was pictures from, I think it was New York or San Diego, that some people that I know met Travis, but he had to wear a mask and hide his face because it was just too big and he didn't want get interrupted. So he was in disguise to go see the artist alley.
Yeah,
but I don't think they did that at this con. They just were walking around.
Yes and no. I think there were a couple where they actually met them, but the other thing is, at least at MCM it was the case, you could get selfies with them, and the booth in Florida weren't set up crazy at MCM. So if they turn the perspective, basically not go towards, it looks like as if they randomly met them. So I think a lot of those pictures are selfies at the booth, but like I said, it's not as insanity as well.
No, and so and a lot of people got videos and had to time to talk with the cast when they met them.
And talk, and that's why I'm hey, going to a con in Florida, why not? I mean, And it's last year MCM was for us just the only meeting our friends there, but MCM itself was for me like but meeting like the cast and our friends and so on, we were in line for so long, but it was totally worth it because when you get the opportunity ever, like nope. So
Yeah.
but, I mean, I know you're in Canada, so it's a bit further away, but you're still on the same continent. So for you guys, it might be easier to actually go to an US con, you know what I mean? So for us, it's also far away.
But the thing is, you guys in Europe have so much public transportation and like train options and stuff. We don't have that. There's no trains here.
Yeah,
like little
even
to no
in
trains.
Canada, that feels bad. No,
there's like
Australia.
one train that like crosses the country. That's basically it. And there's little small local trains that like just go like a couple of towns over, and that's it.
In the chat, I'm in Australia. I'll probably never meet them in person. I think they have been to Australia, and they talked about it going if they get like an invitation. So if you guys actually talk to your Brisbane or Sydney, you guys have couple of like cons. They could invite them.
I know that I don't know if they went officially as Critical Role in Australia, but I think some of the cast went as. Because their voice actors, they had like
Laura and Travis.
I think Laura and Travis went a couple of years ago, but like Critical Role has definitely talked about wanting to go to Australia. Yeah. So
several times. They actually mentioned that like recently when they was it in Four-Sided Dive somewhere. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it was, but like what? That's the thing is like here.
Matt and Marisha were definitely in Australia. I remember that. There is also a thread on here.
But I don't know if it was for a con or just for travel.
Probably they still have normal jobs and probably promo or something. So normal jobs, that's bullshit. Critical Role is their main job, sorry. The voice acting, whatever.
But yeah, to get back about con, like the thing is like in North America, if you don't have a car, good luck trying to travel to cons. Like it's basically impossible, and I don't have a car, so like.
Wait, I'm calling out Eve. Hi, Eve. When you're going to LA and thinking about public transportation and walking, no. No.
Oh no, you can't. America is not like American cities are not walkable. You cannot.
Love you though.
Yeah. Especially LA. LA is not made
impossible.
For like cities like New York, you can get away with walking because they have like good, but I think it's probably one of the only North American, maybe Montreal, because I'm from here. I know it's pretty like I don't have a car and it's pretty easy to go around. But there's not much cities that have a lot lot of public transportation options.
I mean, East Coast is better because they're actually like subway. Is it underground is London? That is subway. You guys in Montreal is something, right? Is that underground or something? Metro, right? So like in Paris. Okay, but East Coast is way better. There's something in LA. It would be kind of interesting to take it. You sometimes see it in like a series or something when they're trying to blow up like a train or something.
Really?
I'm like, yeah, there's some sort of thing, and you're like, where the hell?
I think they have like a tram line, a tramway line.
Wait, I need to look that up. I know we are not talking. Let's imagine that is in Downfall in Aeor. I call it LA right now.
From the chat, someone says Boston isn't terrible to walk, and they have subways and trains. Yeah, a lot of cities have like local train subways or bus and stuff, but like they're not necessarily walkable, which is
it is actually
the main
called
issue.
Los Angeles Metro Rail.
That's ugly.
It is there. We can't discern.
But yeah, like just in general, like America is so bad on public transportation, and like it would be so easy to make a train line that just like goes through all like northeastern like
Can I?
America, Montreal, Quebec, Toronto, New York,
Easy to connect.
Chicago, Boston, like all of those. They're so close together. No, I have to take a 16-hour bus to go there.
Wow, that's hard. So we lived in Ohio for a while, Columbus, and Columbus is a bit different than the rest of Ohio. Ohio is a swing state, blah, 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 whatever. Very farm around us. But Columbus itself was pretty cool. They had a lot of festivals and stuff, and the Pride Parade was amazing. So it was completely different to what you would expect from the Midwest. But what they also did, what they didn't have before, they had train lines where they got rid of the rails and everything. And then when we lived there, they turned it into bicycle lanes. They are pretty straight, but they go around the city and up and down and whatever. So instead of ripping the fucking rail out, just keep it. You know what I mean? So I don't understand. It's like... And you would never want to take like the bus there. It's like, no, get a car.
Yeah.
Don't even try to cycle on the road. You almost got killed. So no, don't. And that's rural. So there's not a lot. So anyway, going back to Aeor, the wonderful world of capitalism. I'm not sure if we will get actually a rent.
Oh my God, that would be so funny. Honestly, like, I don't know if it's going to be a capitalist rent more than maybe, like, brutalist police, anti-cops, power, like, political rent.
Yes, we
maybe
will
not
get the police state
capitalist, but yeah. I think we have very high likelihood of getting a Brennan left-leaning, like, rent kind of deal, which I'm excited about, because...
I mean, with the whole passport thing, we already got a hint towards the, how the Aeorian thing is set up. So I think there's gonna be more. I don't want to say hopefully, but I want to see more of Aeor, and it's like
for sure.
Obviously, because we are on the point of view of the gods and everything. We are obviously on that side. So storytelling-wise, currently Aeor is evil, but. But Aeor.
But
Aeor.
Cool wizard, doing cool shit.
Yes, I want to see what they can do. I want to see them experimenting and stuff.
Hashtag Aeor did nothing wrong. Fuck the gods.
Yeah, that. It's always surprising to me. It's like Travis is a lore junkie. I wasn't aware of that. And they asked the cast what they want to explore more, and Ashley's answer is always also at SuperCon was like Aeor. She's hooked on Aeor. So yeah. I think she didn't get enough with this 3-parter, so maybe she should jump back in time and just see Aeor develop.
God, I need 7 more series about just Aeor alone, so we can talk about it for hours and hours on end. Like, I need more. Okay,
so what was the end? Oh, they did talk about the weapon. So they actually split up the party, and they were like, should we really send the 2 clerics together? Whatever, the 2 healers, sorry, not the clerics, the 2 healers in one party. So yeah. That was a bit meta, but it's okay.
But they talked about the Factorium Malleus, and that's something that we mentioned a little bit before the break.
We did.
Because they are basically on like making plans of how to destroy it. And from what we know, the plans for the construction of the Factorium Malleus was split. Hold on, I'll read what I have here in my notes. Plans of the construction / working of the Factorium Malleus is inscribed in pieces in orbs around the city. Like they kind of like split apart the plan, put it in like orbs all around the city, and they have like a system in place so that if Aeor falls or if something happens to Aeor, they can just send those orbs away all through Exandria and protect the plan, basically.
Yeah, and basically create it again.
So they can like just do it again. I don't know if you came to the same conclusion as me when they described that.
I just did that right now. I was so tired when I watched it. So yours, Ludinus.
But since we know that the Factorium Malleus was a big inspiration from Ludinus the Leth to reconstruct, make the Malleus key that he used to go to the moon. Do we think that the gods succeeded in breaking every orbs? We'll find out. We'll see about that. But I think some part of those plans survived the fall of Aeor.
I think he found some already.
And I think he found some already. And I think it goes all the way back to Maleasmere. Maleasmere, which, if you don't know, is a city in the forests that I don't remember the name of, that something went wrong in, like some kind of experiment, something went wrong, and basically started corrupting the entire, like, it killed the city, basically, and it started corrupting the entire forest around it, and that's the forest where Caduceus, the clays are.
Yeah.
Cavalier Woods, yes, thank you.
Wait.
And from Campaign 3, we know that Ludinus was from Maleasmere. And Ludinus did some sort of experiment that made the city go wrong.
Okay.
So I think he might have found a piece of that orb all the way back then and tried an experiment to figure out his thing, and that made Maleasmere fall and like the corruption to start.
Okay, can we go back to campaign 2 when they were in Aeor and found the woods, and it was like it has a creepy vibe and reminding them of the Savalier Woods. So maybe the experiments were there first, Ludinus picked it up and tried to do it there, and then...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think we're getting somewhere. Even if it's not true, I like it.
But yeah, I think the reason Ludinus is going back to Aeor right now is probably because he found out there's might be one last orb or something valuable. He's looking for more stuff in Aeor, but I think maybe a part of that orb might be still in Aeor, and he's looking for it.
Endgame wise, it's probably just one. He's probably just missing one piece, just from storytelling reasons. It's not like, we're going on a quest looking for 10. You know what I mean?
I don't know if he's missing one, because what I think, since we know he was alive in Aeor, possibly, he still has probably some amounts, like, he's more than your average wizard, is what I'm getting at. And so maybe he has, for example, let's say there's 10 of those orbs, maybe he has like 4 or 5 of them, and the more he can get, the better, like the easier it is for him to figure out how to do it again. But maybe he doesn't need the whole thing, because he has
He must be pretty close already. I don't think he needs a lot.
Yeah, I think he basically got it, because like the factor of the Malleus key was basically based on that, and I think he only needs a little bit more to grab Predathos. Like, now that he's opened the gate, he just needs a little bit more information on how he can get Predathos out of there.
Yes. Okay. Wild theory, because he's freaking old. If he didn't use Aeor tech, Oh, sorry, I didn't.
Okay. From the chat, we have someone saying, a relic of Aeor experiment were brought to Maleasmere. It was accidentally detonated, and that's what basically fucked up in Maleasmere. Yeah, for sure. Like, but I'm saying maybe one of those, like, maybe because he was like, in Maleasmere, we found notes, I believe, of something mentioning the Malleus key, or like something similar to a Malleus key design in Maleasmere. So I think he already had some part of those orbs back in Maleasmere, and probably brought back more stuff from Aeor and fucked up with it, and then whoopsies, let me erase that and start over and try again.
Do you think he is part Betrayer God? Sounds stupid, or Betrayer God or something? His age is kicking me so hard. Elves don't live that long, sorry. It's just like...
That's something, I don't know who I discussed that, but like, his age is a mystery, because he's definitely older than he should be. But I think since he had access to
the tech, yeah.
Age of Arcanum tech that we know has some healing, like some
the
time
whole,
weird stuff. I think he could have just basically been dosing himself with like time rejuvenation, like aging himself down kind of deal.
What if he has some god essence which he can like pump into himself? No, that's a bit crazy. Okay, just one more thing. It's because we know the engine. It was not just Dominox. It was mentioned. Was it mentioned in Downfall or someone in the cooldown? Someone mentioned that it was not just Dominox. They had other other creatures to help with that. What was that? It's in my mind. There was something. And it's like the question we had last time, why wouldn't Asmodeus get rid of, like, not get rid, but send them back or free them? I don't think he cares. You know what I'm referring to? There was something. I can't remember it.
I don't.
I need to rewatch it. I'll look it up for next time. We will be wrapping up soon. So is there anything about the last scenes, like the splitting up the party, people splitting up, one betrayer, one god, or something like that? I can't remember. But it was like mixed teams. And they are off. So I think the Raven Queen disguised herself as a guard.
I'm honestly like, I always enjoy split the party episodes of like, let's fucking split the party, create chaos, fuck everything up, and regret that we split the party because things went wrong and we needed everybody here.
In this case, it's good because everything that runs wrong makes it even worse. So yes.
It's perfect. It's a perfect kind of setting to split the party and create chaos. Like that's great. And the other thing I really enjoy is the fact that they specifically like split gods and betrayers like in two teams, like mixed teams, like you said. That's gonna create chaos, and I love that. I'm excited. I love interparty conflict. It's gonna be great.
I mean, especially because this is not. I mean, okay, they're gods, but would they hang out? I mean, as lights they did, but it's like they can split up. They're powerful enough, you know. It's like we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see if there's conflict. What are our predictions for next episode? Maybe that as the last thing. Or I mean, is there something else on your list you wanted to talk about? Because I know time-wise we should wrap it up. So, also looking at the chat, at the chat, yes, he uses the harness to take in the essence from Faye, maybe to extend his life. Yeah, potentially.
Yeah.
So it might be just tech thing. He might not even be related to any god thing.
No, I don't think I had anything else specifically on my list. But I'm interested to see some predictions from chat, maybe. Like what do you think is gonna happen? What are your thoughts, predictions, chat? I'm interested to see if, because we've been talking for 3 hours, but we want to hear about you guys.
Did we talk for 3 hours? Oops.
We haven't been live for 3 hours, but we've been on this call for over 3 hours.
That is true. Absolute chaos and shenanigans. Yeah, for sure.
Yep. For sure.
So for us, till the chat gives us more stuff. What are their missions right now? Do you remember who does what?
No, I don't.
Okay, no worries. We'll ignore it.
I haven't gotten there in my rewatch.
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
No idea. 1, 2.
Part 2.
Only 2 episodes to go there. There needs to be action and chaos. Yeah, for sure. One team was Team Break Stuff. I don't remember the teams, so I couldn't tell you who was Break Stuff. The other one,
I think the emissary, because
because he's a barbarian with big rocks as a body.
Cast a death ward on the emissary because he's very important. So, yeah,
that's gonna go in my spreadsheet.
You're welcome. As they leave, Arcadia reminds them that one way or another, this will be their last night as mortals.
Yes. I think some of the gods are tired to be mortals and are like, oh, can we go back to fighting with all our powers unleashed? Especially the betrayers, like.
Or, hey, let's go to town and just have a party. We can do that stuff tomorrow. So, Team Prey stuff was Taliesin. So
that would make sense. Another fighting class, break stuff. Fuck yeah.
The monk and the emissary just makes sense.
Yep.
Okay, Asha, Tishar, and Zanat together form the team to destroy the the blah 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 engine. What's it called? I don't know. The thing people make up to make D&D interesting, names that can't be pronounced.
The fun names that no one can pronounce. Yep, those ones.
Silaha, I don't know, volunteers to seek information about both the Arawak's protocol and the identity of the informant. Wait, informant? I'm confused. Joined by Letta and Emira.
The informant is the one that was mentioned by Asmodeus, who says like, yeah, they're about to do some stuff. We have to do it tonight. Otherwise, like, we're not like we have to do it tonight and crash the city tonight because like.
Okay. Yeah.
We don't have a week like we thought.
Yeah, that's true. And then Trist No,
that's it.
Okay. Trist offers to stay with the emissary to keep them safe, but Arcadia suggests the emissary joins Asha's team instead. So Trist, Aiden, Arcadia, and Father Milo Asmodeus are Team Break, I guess.
Okay, yeah. So what I have so Silaha, Umletta, and Emira are team info grabbing. Asha, Tishar, Zaharst, and the emissary are team break stuff, and then Trist, Aiden, Arcadia, and Father Milo form a third team. Yes. It's not specified what they're gonna do, but they have another mission, I guess.
Weren't they going for the weapon, no, how's it called? God damn it.
Factor Malleus?
No, the God damn it, the weapon, the God Killer, we talked about it.
God Killer is the Factor Malleus.
Yes. When they going for that?
I think, I don't know, because they have to destroy it all, because the Aerovox protocol is the thing that we mentioned, like the orbs all around the city. They have to destroy all the orbs before going for the Factor Malleus. So I think they might be going also for the orbs, just to get it done quicker, and then meet up to beat up the.
I guess that's Team Destroy, like we said. So.
Yeah, it's Team Destroy Part 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Adorable. So Jet, what do we have? Yeah, Team Break. I hope to see Frida. We do too. And a little bit of FCG. Wouldn't it be amazing if they knew each other and didn't know?
Oh, God.
Imagine they were together already, and then they even sadder. Okay, never mind.
Find each other in every universe kind of shit.
Yeah. Faded souls, yeah. Okay, I think that's it. I don't know. Also, it was very hard on Friday, Saturday when we all watched not to talk to each other, so we have something to talk about tonight. So it's like, look at this tweet. This is the maximum we exchanged. Like, look, there's another theory. So yeah. Yep. One sec. There was a thing somewhere. Okay.
It was probably my DMs that I sent you.
It was. But I saw it here now. So. All right. Then I would say do your outros. I don't think I don't think we're gonna play tomorrow, but we can at least mention it. So
Yeah, we can plug it in. Hello, hi, I'm Sasha. You can find me on social at the Weird Lobster, most on those platform, and then on TikTok I'm at the Rambling Lobster because usernames are fun, and I love not being consistent. You can find me also on every Wednesday on Quest Junkies UK's channel with this lovely lady. We play a couple of besties on the Wildmountain Chronicles. For all my Critical Role fans in here, you're gonna love this stuff.
also very related
Last
to
couple of
the
episodes,
other
we were talking with Laren, Cora Marsili, and now my character bears the mark of the Architect Arcane, and I cried my eyes out for an entire week over this. So if you want to check this out and see what the fuck I'm talking about, you can check us out on the Question Keys UK socials.
Yes.
Yeah.
Episode should be on YouTube too. So the last one I
it is on
actually
YouTube. I
rewatched.
sent it to my friends and I was like, I know you don't watch our because I talked with one of my friends about all the Avalier stuff that's going on in our campaign right now, and she was like, oh my god, I made her cry, and she hasn't even finished Calamity, but I made her cry because like it was just so sweet. And then like after that episode, last week's episode happened, I texted her. I was like, I know you're not up to date to our stuff. I promise there's no spoilers for Calamity. Just watch this. Like, you're gonna love it.
Have they seen it yet?
They haven't had time because they were home this week, but they're gonna watch it soon, and I'm really excited. It was such a sweet episode.
It was. Also, it was chaos.
Yeah, of course, because it's us. Like, what else could you expect?
That is so true. I don't know what you're talking about. We're totally not chaotic. Can I look at this book? Okay.
Yeah, that's me. That's how you find me. And
yes, please
thank you
check out Sasha. Sasha is amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I guess I have to say goodbye too. And we're switching to me now. So, chat, thank you so much for sticking around. I know it's been long, and you must be really Critical Role nerds or something, like critters or something, because why would you stay here? Also, if you have questions, leave them like, I don't know, here in the chat, which we can talk about next time I hear Sasha giggling in the background. And also on YouTube, we will upload the video on YouTube. So anyways, you can find us here. YouTube mentioned. I don't think we have a Twitter, but it's gonna come eventually, I guess. We have an Instagram, and the main channel is TikTok because that's where it all started. So check us out there. We do a lot of like, obviously the typical TikTok stuff, lip sync in character, stuff like that. But we also have news. So if you see something Critical Role related that is not on TikTok yet, and we're like, hey guys, check it out, like the passport stuff, we'll post it there because sometimes Critical Role either doesn't update it or it just takes a while, and people don't look at Twitter. That's just it. So anyway, you can find me there. That's the only thing I'm gonna plug. We already plugged Wednesday for the Wildmountain Chronicles. Keep an eye out. Maybe subscribe to Quest Junkies. And then I think that's it. How did we sign off last time? Guys, put something in the chat. May the theories be ever in your favor. Okay, see you next week.